We start with a steamy, mysterious vision. A cold touch brushes against skin, leaving our protagonist breathless. This gorgeous man looks like he's in a trance. But wait, what is that scaly tail wrapping around him? It's thick, powerful, and totally intoxicating. A voice whispers in the dark. This white-haired beauty is teasing him, trailing fingers over a body that's clearly enjoying this way too much. Our boy's eyes fly open in a daze. The scales are smooth and icy. He's pinned down by a literal monster. The tension is through the roof. A soft kiss in the dark, and things are getting way too spicy. Suddenly, bam, Jai Tiansai wakes up in a cold sweat, realizing it was all a dream. He checks his pants and yep, that's embarrassing. He's been having these preposterous dreams ever since he fought the Demon King. A few days ago, Jai Tiansai's clan was under total siege. The Demon Clan was invading with zero mercy. Chaos was everywhere. These demons were getting more savage by the second. Our boy was right in the thick of it, surrounded by blood and steel. His masters were gone, leaving the lower disciples to die. Suddenly, a horde of snakes hissed through the air. One lunges for the kill, but Jai Tiansai is faster than he looks, catching the reptile midair. His teammates scream at him to just kill the pests. But our soft-hearted nugget refuses. He thinks these snakes are just innocent creatures being used. Meet Jai Tiansai, the lowest-level disciple of the Heaven Seeker clan. He's basically the clan's punching bag. A fellow disciple slashes the snakes anyway, calling our boy trash. He tells Jai Tiansai to get out of the way and stop being a disgrace. Poor guy is just left standing there while everyone looks down on him. He's treated like a complete nobody. Suddenly, a chilling laugh echoes through the trees. Jai Tiansai senses something terrifying. A man with a sinister smile is watching from above. He's perched on a branch like a predator. This blindfolded beauty is the one behind the snakes. He wants to see exactly how capable our boy is. Jai Tiansai realizes the horror. This is Liu Wuxin, the Demon King himself. Legend says he's a heartless monster who loves committing heinous crimes. He just gained his freedom and started a merciless war. He stands over the world like a god of death. With his masters missing, Jai Tiansai is completely alone. He trembles as the Demon King locks eyes with him. Liu Wuxin makes a shocking offer. He thinks our boy is pretty enough to suit his tastes. He tells Jai Tiansai to warm his bed and he'll spare the rest of the clan. Our hero is absolutely disgusted. He tells the fiend to stop speaking nonsense. Jai Tiansai isn't going down without a fight. He bites his finger, preparing a desperate blood seal. Today, I will die to protect my clans. He lunges forward with everything he has. The Demon King just smirks, thinking he's found a new toy. He's ready to drag our boy back to his palace. But then the unthinkable happens. Jai Tiansai's strike actually shatters the Demon King's shield. Cracks spread everywhere as the power explodes. The invincible barrier just dissipates. Even the Demon King is left speechless. How can this be? He gasps. A massive explosion rocks the entire mountain. Smoke and debris fill the air. The disciples cough through the dust, wondering what just happened. They can't believe their eyes. Did the Demon King actually die? A massive crater is all that's left. The demon army panics and starts a full retreat. The big boss is gone just like that. The other disciples are fuming with jealousy. They're convinced our boy must have cheated somehow. Meanwhile, Jai Tiansai is barely holding it together. He's bleeding and exhausted. He hears a rustle in the bushes. It's a tiny white snake huddled on a branch. Our boy thinks this little nugget is just a pitiful survivor. He decides to take it home and care for it. Later, he heads to the clan's secret hot springs. It's the perfect place to heal his wounds. He gently washes the little snake, feeling sorry for it. Little does he know, this snake is the Demon King. Liu Wuxin is fuming, swearing he'll torture this boy for eternity. But right now, he's stuck in this tiny form. He tries to bite Jai Tiansai's chest in revenge. But our boy is so fit that the snake gets a massive nosebleed instead. Jai Tiansai thinks the snake is just energetic. He decides to make the snake his spiritual beast so it can live with him. The Demon King is absolutely raging. Him a pet never. Our boy just pinches the snake's cheeks and calls him cute. Liu Wuxin is losing his mind with humiliation. He was careless for 1 second and now he's being treated like a toy. You're so cute, how old are you? Jai Tiansai coos. The Demon King tries to transform back to his human form. He pours every ounce of his demonic energy into the change. But nothing happens. His powers are completely gone. He's just a wagging little noodle in Jai Tiansai's hands. He realizes he's lost everything. He's stuck as a tiny snake with no way out. Jai Tiansai is thrilled to have a new friend. He promises to teach the snake well starting tomorrow. He starts getting ready for bed, totally oblivious. The Demon King is forced to watch as our boy gets comfortable. He's stuck by his side whether he likes it or not. Spiritual animal my ass, he thinks. He tries to slither away and escape this nightmare. But with no powers and a gorgeous master, where can he even go? Under the cover of a moonlit night, the atmosphere is thick with tension as our little hero tries to make a break for it. The guards are on high alert, but they have no idea a tiny white snake is watching their every move from the shadows. Our boy Liu Wuxin knows the defensive arrays are down, making this the perfect time to slither into freedom. But just as he makes his move, one of the disciples hears a rustle and snaps into combat mode. A lethal talisman is launched through the air with terrifying precision. It hits the ground with a massive explosion, kicking up dust and debris everywhere. The guards rush to the scene, searching for any sign of a demon survivor. They scan the area, but to their frustration, there's absolutely nothing left but smoke. One of the disciples thinks his partner is just jumpy from all the recent demon slaying, dismissing the noise as a random animal. Little do they know, Liu Wuxin is hiding right under their noses, cursing his luck while staring at the handsome but deadly Jai Tiansai. Suddenly, Jai Tiansai appears like a ghost, startling the guards who were just about to leave. They immediately demand to know why he's out wandering the grounds so late at night. Our pretty boy just stands there looking pensive and majestic, because being a main character means never having an ugly angle. He claims he's just looking for something he lost, but the disciples aren't buying his innocent act for a second. They start mocking him, reminding him that he's just a low-level loser who only got lucky against the Demon King. Our little snake is absolutely fuming in the background, ready to bite anyone who insults his rival like that. The disciples keep barking about prestige and how someone like him doesn't belong in the Heaven Seeker clan. Jai Tiansai has zero time for their drama and tells them to step aside before things get messy. As he walks away, the guards keep gossiping like high schoolers, waiting for the day he finally gets his comeuppance. High up in the trees, Liu Wuxin watches the whole scene, realizing that Jai Tiansai is surprisingly unpopular with his own crew. But his observation is cut short when Jai Tiansai tracks him down with terrifying speed. Our poor snake gets scooped up and scolded for running off into such a dangerous area. Liu Wuxin decides to play along for now, thinking this gentleman might actually be a decent human being for saving a snake. He's brought back to a room that looks peaceful enough at first glance, but then he sees the decor and his scales start to crawl. There are intricate paintings of snakes hanging on every single wall. Our boy realizes with horror that his savior might actually be a total obsessive weirdo. To make matters weirder, Jai Tiansai decides to give his new baby a name. He settles on Shijiu, which sounds cute until you realize it literally means number 19. Liu Wuxin is caught in a whirlwind of chaotic affection, wondering why on earth he was assigned a number. As the sun sets and the courtyard grows quiet, our boy is still trapped in this golden cage. Night falls again, bringing a whole new set of problems for our undercover demon king. He wakes up to find Jai Tiansai using him as a literal body pillow, cuddling him with zero personal boundaries. Liu Wuxin projects his human form for a moment, looking down at the sleeping man with a mix of disgust and curiosity. He can't help but admit the guy is handsome, even if he is a total nutcase. He concludes that this gentleman is actually a high-tier snake fetishist with some serious issues. In his dreams, Jai Tiansai is even more suffocating, demanding hugs from his stinkin' cute little snake. Liu Wuxin manages to wiggle free, desperate to put some distance between them. He slithers across the floor, but a sleepy mumble from the bed nearly makes his heart stop. He freezes in total panic, his little snake heart hammering against his ribs. He quickly dives into a nearby cupboard to hide, questioning why the great demon king is reduced to this. He tries to regain his dignity, telling himself he's not scared, just being cautious. But then he notices a chilling, heavy aura emanating from the back of the cupboard. He creeps further into the darkness, sensing that something is very, very wrong. His blood runs cold when he finds a hidden shrine filled with incense and memorial tablets. He looks closer and the realization hits him like a freight train. The tablets are all dedicated to previous pets, little 1, little 2, all the way to little 18. Our boy realizes he's number 19 because the 18 snakes before him are all dead and buried. He decides right then and there that staying is a death sentence and he needs to flee immediately. The next morning, he tries to make his move, but Jai Tiansai finds him in the garden before he can even reach the gate. The pretty boy picks him up, cooing about how naughty he is for getting so dirty. He even offers to lick him clean, which is the ultimate nightmare fuel for our poor hero. After a truly traumatizing chibai cuddle session, Liu Wuxin knows he can't wait any longer. While Jai Tiansai is busy planning their future, our boy is planning his great escape via the water route. He gives a final humph of defiance, ready to leave this madhouse behind. He dives into the pond, but a hand suddenly snatches him right out of the water. Jai Tiansai warns him that the outside ponds are too dangerous and suggests his bathtub instead. Later that afternoon, the pretty boy enters a deep state of cultivation, finally giving Liu Wuxin a window of opportunity. This is it, the perfect time to vanish while his captor is paralyzed in meditation. He navigates through the stunning mountain landscape, avoiding the main paths. He finds a secluded exit near a waterfall, feeling like freedom is finally within his grasp. But a sudden sound of footsteps makes him freeze in the tall grass. A voice booms out, demanding to know who's there. A pair of sharp, icy eyes cut through the foliage, looking for the intruder. The water ripples as the mysterious figure approaches the shore. It's a hooded man looking like a total assassin from a dark novel. Liu Wuxin prepares for a fight, but the stranger's reaction is completely unexpected. The hooded man drops to his knees, bowing deeply to the tiny snake. He reveals that he's a loyal servant who has been waiting for the Demon King's return. Our boy transforms back into his glorious human form, a dangerous smirk playing on his lips. The servant explains that he's been a mole inside the Heaven Seeker clan for years, just waiting for this moment. He presents a secret potion that will allow Liu Wuxin to maintain his human form for 4 hours a day. It also masks his demonic aura, making him the ultimate undercover threat. The forest seems to glow as the power of the potion takes effect. Our Demon King rises from the water, looking absolutely ethereal and ready for revenge. He drapes a robe over his shoulders, his eyes glowing with newfound purpose. He questions his servant's loyalty, wondering if he's really been doing his best. Because if he had, he would have already found the one person Liu Wuxin is truly looking for, the mysterious Shi Yuelun. It's the Demon Clan's most sacred item, lost years ago during a brutal war that left the elite troops in shambles. We're talking literal rivers of blood and casualties that would make anyone tremble. This isn't just a relic, it's the only way to unlock the highest levels of demonic power. Our savage Demon King is done playing games and vows to retrieve it himself to restore his kingdom's reputation. He's absolutely fed up with his useless subordinates failing him. The poor lackey can only grovel on the ground, literally begging for death to escape the king's icy gaze. With a dramatic swoosh, the king decides to take matters into his own hands. Since he's already infiltrated the Heaven Seeker clan in his human form, he plans to stay undercover and finish the job. He orders his generals to stay low and not do anything chaotic while he plays the long game. His man is sent off to delay a top-tier disciple named Zhang Jiyuan who might ruin everything. But the real problem is the crappy Daoist who keeps getting in his way. He wonders how a mere human managed to exhaust his massive demonic reserves. He needs to know exactly who Jai Tiansai is before he makes his next move. Turns out our boy Jai Tiansai has a history that's anything but ordinary. He's from Haunted Waters Town, a place so dangerous and mysterious that humans and demons actually live side by side. It's a hidden garrison on the border where ghosts and gods mingle. 16 years ago, the sect master stumbled upon him as a tiny 5-year-old beggar and brought him home. Look at that face, who could say no to those big, sad eyes? But because he's from a demon-friendly town, the other disciples treat him like a total freak. He's been an outcast for years, forced to study and practice in total isolation. Suddenly, Jai Tiansai feels a strange fluctuation of power within his own body. He's sweating bullets as he tries to control a spiritual energy that feels completely foreign. He attempts to meditate, but the power is nearly bursting out of his hands. He recalls his master's words about his heaven-sent talent being a double-edged sword. If he can't repress his delicate thoughts and emotions, he'll lose himself to the demons entirely. To become the clan saint, he has to be a total emotionless stone. He bows to his master, sincerely trying to follow the path of righteousness. But the master is way more interested in his new spirit animal than his cultivation. Jai Tiansai promises to find the runaway snake before it scares anyone else. He bursts into his room and finds the little white serpent casually lounging on the table. Our hero immediately goes into overprotective parent mode, calling the snake baby and nearly dying of worry. The Demon King is internally screaming, calling him a total idiot for being so affectionate. In his head, the king is already imagining a savage revenge where he ties the Daoist up and makes him regret every kiss. Unaware of the murder plots, Jai Tiansai decides it's time for some master spirit animal bonding. He starts a cultivation session to unite their minds. That's when things get spicy. Jai Tiansai's mind is flooded with a vision of a gorgeous, half-naked man with a shimmering snake tail. This vision is pure chaos, with the mysterious man smiling and getting way too close for comfort. They're practically touching in the water and the tension is insane. Just as they're about to lean in for a kiss, Jai Tiansai snaps. He slaps the poor snake across the room in a flustered panic. The snake is left reeling, wondering why its master is acting like a total lunatic. Jai Tiansai is having a full-blown identity crisis, questioning if his love for snakes has become perverted. The poor snake is absolutely fuming after being flung around. Jai Tiansai tries to poke it, but he's so flustered he accidentally scalds himself and sends the snake flying again. The king is dizzy and knocked out, wondering if the previous 18 spirit animals died from this kind of abuse. Jai Tiansai curls into a ball of shame, his face glowing bright red. The snake feels totally wronged, but the night is young. Under the cover of darkness, the king transforms into his majestic human self to scout the clan. He's annoyed the Daoist is avoiding him, but it gives him space to search for the moon devourer. His search leads him to a surprising sight. Jai Tiansai is taking a late-night bath. The king stops in his tracks, getting a full view of those rock-hard abs. He even lets out a little indecent whistle, unable to look away from the view. He's basically having a nosebleed in chibai form, admitting every second was worth the risk. Meanwhile, Jai Tiansai is still haunted by visions of the Snake King in the water. He's convinced he's been possessed by inner demons and is losing his mind. He realizes that if he keeps cultivating like this, he's going to ruin everything, and decides he needs a new method immediately. Our boy is on the move, but he's not exactly sneaking around. Just as he reaches the high-level cultivation area, the fun police show up to block his path. But Tiansai isn't sweating it, he just whips out his fancy entry warrant like a total boss. The seal dissolves instantly, proving he's got the golden ticket to go wherever he pleases. The guards have no choice but to back off and let the man through. Tiansai steps inside, knowing he needs to find a way to stabilize his messy cultivation ASAP. Even our tiny Snake King is peeking out, curious if they'll find any legendary loot in here. But wait, another set of disciples decides to be extra and tells him to halt again. Seriously, Tiansai is losing his patience with these gatekeeping dunces. They try to use the recent clan chaos as an excuse to keep him out. They even accuse him of scheming, making the Snake King inside his sleeve absolutely livid. The snake decides enough is enough and gives one of the jerks a very spicy love bite. When the guy tries to grab him, Tiansai catches his wrist with a cold, savage stare. He warns him to let go, but when the guy doesn't listen, Tiansai sends him flying with a massive blast of energy. The dude is out cold, looking like a total loser while Tiansai remains unfazed. Our boy makes it clear that while he respects his master, his patience for these idiots has hit its limit. He leaves them trembling, casually mentioning that if they have a problem, they can talk to him once he becomes the clan saint. Meanwhile, at the main courtyard, a massive spiritual array is humming with power. This is the big guns, the 80,000 Demon Slayer array, and it's looking intense. The disciples are struggling to keep the repairs going, begging their senior sister for help. Senior sister Yun Jiao steps up, looking like a total goddess while she channels her power. She's doing her best to patch up the holes in their defenses. Apparently, the array was trashed by the Demon King, leaving their master seriously weakened. Back in the woods, Tiansai is chilling with his bitey little companion. The Snake King is personally offended they called his handiwork crappy, while Tiansai reminds him he got one-shotted anyway. That earns him a tiny, adorable slap across the face. Tiansai just laughs it off, teasing the little guy about becoming his spirit animal. Look at that smirk, he knows exactly how to push the Snake King's buttons. Even after his warrant gets confiscated for infighting, Tiansai decides it's time to stop playing nice and actually aim for the saint position. He's even getting used to the constant biting, talk about a toxic relationship. He calls the snake baby, which honestly is the chaotic energy we live for. He tells the little guy to wait while he goes to handle some business. The Snake King realizes that if he helps Tiansai climb the ranks, he'll basically own the entire righteous clan. To win, Tiansai needs to win over the swordsmanship and tactical factions. And don't forget the Spirit Tamer faction, which is apparently led by a guy who likes big cats. He needs a unanimous vote, which is basically impossible for a low-level disciple. Back at the array, the tactical faction is sweating bullets trying to finalize the seal. With a final burst of light, they actually manage to pull it off. Yun Jiao is relieved, but the celebration is cut short. Enter Shishu Chongshan, the tactical master who looks like he hasn't slept in 3 decades. He's got that I'm too old for this vibe down to science. He's bitter about losing his cultivation to that snake demon, not knowing the culprit is currently a pocket pet. Yun Jiao proudly shows off their hard work. But the old man is skeptical, knowing a repaired array is never as good as the original. That's when Tiansai strolls in, calling their arrogance improper right to their faces. He tells them they shouldn't take anything for granted, especially with demons involved. Our boy looks stunningly serious, ready to school the experts. The other disciples start whispering, calling him a fluke and a disgrace to the sect. Tiansai ignores the trash talk and offers to personally test the array's weaknesses. He mentions he's got a little souvenir from a double-headed tiger demon he offed years ago. This beast was no joke, and its power was legendary. He pulls out the severed tail, which is still dripping with demonic energy, to use as a stress test. Yun Jiao thinks he's suicidal because the array won't distinguish between a test and a real attack. Even Shishu tries to talk him down, patting him on the shoulder like a worried uncle. He tells Tiansai that putting his life at risk is a big no-no. He even whispers that if Tiansai dies, his master will literally turn Shishu into confetti. But Tiansai's mind is made up. He declares that his survival is up to fate and walks straight toward the glowing seal. Before anyone can grab him, he steps into the array and vanishes. The crowd is losing it, convinced they just watched a man commit suicide by magic. Far away, Shizun is watching the whole thing, looking completely unbothered. His assistant is worried, but the master knows his disciple is built different. He has absolute faith that Tiansai is the only one who can handle this. He even cuts his own cultivation session short just to see how this plays out. Talk about a protective master. Inside the array, Tiansai lands softly, finding a forest that looks eerily peaceful. But he knows better than to trust his eyes in a place designed to kill demons. Suddenly, the mist clears to reveal a gargantuan statue of the immortal forefather. This is the legendary Chiai Immortal, the man who started it all. He was the ultimate master of swords, tactics, and spirit taming back in the day. Even just a statue of him radiates an overwhelming sense of power. Tiansai pays his respects, but a sudden whoosh tells him the trial has officially begun. The killing array is already in full swing as our boy Shiju barely manages to dodge a massive explosion. He lands hard, realizing this formation is even more violent than he expected. Thousands of spiritual swords whistle through the air, aiming straight for his head. He spins his blade in a frantic dance, deflecting the light-speed projectiles just in time. High above, a massive golden seal hums with lethal energy, locking him into a cage of pure destruction. The mountain itself trembles under the weight of the spell's power. Shiju is thrown back, coughing up blood as his body starts to give out. He grips his sword with shaking hands, refusing to die in this god-forsaken place. He knows this 8 trigrams array is sentient. It changes its rhythm based on how he fights back. He desperately tries to find a living entrance, though he knows the creator likely didn't leave one. Suddenly, something starts wriggling inside his robes. It's our sassy little snake, who apparently couldn't resist following him into danger. Shiju is absolutely livid, yelling at the little guy for being so reckless. But the Snake King just gives him a look of pure disdain, mocking him with a tiny tail gesture. Our hero tries to scold him, but the snake just bites his hand like the little savage he is. There's no time for a domestic dispute because more swords are raining down. Shiju scoops up his scaly companion and leaps away just as the ground explodes. He's reaching his limit, sweating bullets as he realizes he can't dodge forever. But then a blinding flash of light erupts from his arms. In a split second, the tiny snake is gone, replaced by a gorgeous, long-haired man holding him tight. Both of them are completely shocked by the sudden transformation. They plummet through the air and hit the ground with a heavy thud. Shiju finds himself pinned beneath a very naked, very handsome demon king. The silence is deafening as they stare at each other in total confusion. Shiju immediately scrambles back, his face turning a shade of red that shouldn't be humanly possible. He tries to convince himself this is just an illusion designed to test his resolve. But the Demon King decides to lean into the chaos, acting all flirtatious with a rose in his mouth. Shiju literally feels like his eyes are going to bleed from the sheer absurdity of it all. He misses his innocent little white flower and can't believe this greasy guy is the same creature. He quickly tosses his outer robe over the naked intruder, desperate for some decency. The Demon King is low-key offended that our hero isn't taking advantage of the situation. But the romantic tension is cut short when the array charges up for round 2. Shiju warns him to stay back, thinking the array only targets high-level evil. The Demon King just smirks, calling him an idiot under his breath. He decides to play the damsel in distress, clinging to Shiju's chest for protection. He leans in close, whispering about how scared he is. "Protect me, Jij," he purrs, blowing into Shiju's ear. A massive volley of swords cuts through the trees, forcing them to move. Another explosion rocks the forest as they barely escape the blast. In the chaos, the demon gets a face full of Shiju's chest. He seems to be enjoying the view a little too much. Shiju pulls him up, relieved that they survived the impact. But his relief turns to a massive nosebleed when he realizes just how close they are. The Demon King checks on him, acting all sweet and concerned. Then he feels something poking him from inside Shiju's clothes. He starts rummaging through the robes, looking for treasures. Shiju struggles, begging him to stop touching him so suddenly. It turns out it was just a magical tiger's tail charm. Shiju exhales, his soul almost leaving his body from the embarrassment. The sky glows again as the second wave reaches its peak. Beams of light rain down like a literal apocalypse. Shiju pulls the demon into a tight embrace, determined to shield him from the light. The Demon King looks up, realizing that despite being a bit dull, this human really does have a heart of gold. Shiju, on the other hand, is still convinced this is just a very realistic hallucination. This realization makes the Demon King's eye twitch with annoyance. The magic circle hums with even more intensity as the pressure builds. Shiju knows he has to break the core of the array before they are both vaporized. But for the Demon King, this is child's play. He remembers a time when he led an army to crush this very clan. Back then, he stood tall against a sea of swords without flinching. With a confident smirk, he remembers how he ended it all. A single snap of his fingers was all it took to stop the entire world in its tracks. Meanwhile, back at the sect, the elders are panicking because the demon army has already breached the gates. Master Chang Shan tries to act cool, lecturing his students about maintaining a worthy demeanor. He has no idea that the Demon King he's mocking is currently flirting with his favorite disciple. The Demon King can't wait to see what that demeanor looks like once he's finished. A massive shockwave shatters the defenses of the sect. Changshan's smug expression turns to pure horror. He collapses, coughing up blood as his precious array is torn apart from the inside. Inside the array, everything is going to hell as the disciples panic over their broken formation. Our poor heroine Jai Tiansai is just trying to stay calm, but the sassy Snake King Shiju is already judging his bottom-tier cultivation skills. Shiju decides now is the perfect time for a little physical harassment, leaving our boy completely flustered. He's got a devious look in his eye because he knows exactly how to push all the right buttons. It's a total lust boost as he clings to Jai Tiansai, who is desperately trying to maintain his focus. If this keeps up, the entire technique is going to collapse under the pressure of all this spicy tension. And just like that, boom, the whole thing goes up in smoke. Jai Tiansai is left traumatized, claiming he was just assaulted by a snake while Shiju laughs in the background. He flashes back to the moment he tried to use a tiger tail to divert the damage, but clearly that didn't go as planned. He tells the Snake King to hold out his hands, looking like he's about to offer a peace treaty. Shiju reaches out, expecting something sweet. But psych, Jai Tiansai pulls out the demon binding ropes and snaps them tight. He's not taking any more chances and ties our sassy king up like a holiday roast. Shiju is absolutely fuming, calling him a crappy Daoist for playing so dirty. While the Snake King rants, Jai Tiansai starts analyzing the array, realizing the weakness must be hidden in the statue of the immortal forefather. He remembers the teachings about a heart that encompasses all living beings. He stares into the eyes of the statue, searching for a way out of this mess. Shiju tries to use his strength to break free, but the ropes are just too vulgar for his royal taste. He tries to revert to his original form to escape, but it backfires and he ends up stuck as a tiny, adorable snake with bunny ears. Jai Tiansai is actually relieved, thinking the hallucination of the handsome man is finally gone. The tiny snake is throwing a literal hissy fit, calling Jai Tiansai a pervert for calling him good baby. They continue their bickering as Jai Tiansai explains he threw the tiger tail to stop the array's attacks for now. He tells his baby to wait right there while he goes to finish the job. The little snake can only watch in shock. Suddenly, a rain of glowing swords pours down from the sky. Our boy has to dodge like his life depends on it while the tiny snake weaves through the grass in a frantic S-shape. Jai Tiansai yells at him to stay away so he doesn't get caught in the crossfire. He's running for his life, but his internal energy starts acting up again. The obstructive energy is surging, and he's forced to drop to his knees to suppress it. He's in a tight spot and desperately needs an assist. He looks toward the tiger tail he discarded earlier. Suddenly, the air shifts and a massive green light erupts. With a thunderous roar, a giant two-headed tiger slams into the battlefield. Shiju is stunned to see that this beast is actually still alive. The tiger smirks, mocking Jai Tiansai for ending up in such a pathetic state. Our boy just laughs it off and thanks the big cat for the save. The tiger is incredibly offended by the nickname A Meow and starts roaring in fury. But Jai Tiansai knows his weakness and starts giving him the most legendary head rubs. It's a total IQ drop as the fierce beast turns into a purring kitten right in front of the shocked snake. Once the tiger is sufficiently bribed, they get back to business regarding the deadly demon slayer array. The swords keep coming and the two-headed tiger has to leap into action to defend them. The array is going completely berserk, ignoring the massive demon tiger and focusing all its hate on Jai Tiansai. Shiju watches from the sidelines, his head hurting from all the chaotic stupidity. Jai Tiansai is struggling internally, his soul feeling like it's being torn into 1,000 pieces. Seeing his partner in trouble, the Snake King decides he finally has to make a move. He slips through the grass, stealthily making his way toward the center. The swords are shattered into fragments as the power peaks. Jai Tiansai is at his limit, praying for just a few more seconds. While the tiger roars and fights, Jai Tiansai falls into a deep meditation to find his center. But a dark, sinister voice starts whispering in his ear, telling him to stop holding out. He looks up, startled by the red aura surrounding him. The voice tempts him to let his heart run free, promising an easy escape. It warns him that time is running out and death is knocking at the door. Jai Tiansai closes his eyes tight, fighting the urge to listen to the corruption. Meanwhile, the tiny snake finds the living entrance hidden beneath the water. Shiju dives in and emerges in his true, majestic human form. He mocks the old Daoists for their hypocrisy, hiding a killer array inside a place meant for mercy. He remembers the war that almost wiped out his clan and his eyes fill with ancient rage. But then we get a quick chibai break because even a vengeful king needs to look cute sometimes. Back at the meditation spot, the dark voice is screaming at Jai Tiansai, asking if he really doesn't care if Shiju survives. It claims his baby is in grave danger. Jai Tiansai's eyes turn a terrifying shade of red as the darkness starts to take over. He looks absolutely feral, and even the two-headed tiger is shaking in its boots. The beast begs him to wake up before he loses himself completely. As the sun sets over the mountain, the disciples outside are getting worried because there's been zero activity. Some of them are already giving up, thinking he's definitely a goner and it's almost dinner time anyway. But suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the entire temple. Through the thick smoke, a dark silhouette appears. The disciples are losing their minds. Jai Tiansai actually made it out. But their relief turns to horror when they see the array is even more trash than before. Our boy walks out looking like a total savage, drenched in drama. The disciples are completely dumbfounded by his survival. One of them starts screaming about the array, but Jai Tiansai just coolly thanks her for the concern. She's not worried about him, she's worried about the 7 days of repair work he just deleted. She's literally crying over the wasted overtime. The Shifu steps in, trying to act like he's got everything under control. He blames his own disciples' flawed work to save face in front of Jai Tiansai. He's sweating bullets internally, praying nobody notices he's totally full of it. He begs his student to just give him a little bit of respect for once as the chaos finally settles. Shishu and the disciples realize the array's big weakness was actually the legendary Chiai Immortal. Shishu admits that even his Shizun left a lingering mark on the world. We get a glimpse into the past where the elders argued over whether to make the array a killer or just a simple defense. But in this day and age, playing nice with demons is basically a death sentence. Jai Tiansai stands there looking all brooding, but he knows his reputation is on thin ice. Our girl Shijiu is sweating bullets, wondering how he's going to explain the massive damage to the formation. Jai Tiansai pulls a classic "I was led astray by miasma" card. He claims he heard a purifying spell and totally blacked out during the chaos. Shizun really did come through with the save. And now Shishu thinks they need even more help to fix the mess. Shishu looks pensive for a moment, before deciding to call it a day, but our girl stops him because she's got a major problem. Actually, never mind, she decides it's better to keep her mouth shut to protect her favorites. Jai Tiansai wonders if the array really just malfunctioned or if something deeper is targeting him. Reports come in that Jai Tiansai has safely exited the array. The elders decide the living entrance to the array is a liability that needs to be erased immediately. The Grandmaster is buried in research, looking as elegant as ever, while the elders are ready to destroy sacred relics just to seal the deal. Shishu is being his usual chaotic, teasing self, making the big boss absolutely lose his cool. Under the silent moonlight, Shishu reminisces about the years gone by. He looks so lonely as he stares into the distance, until Shizun appears, telling everyone they should just let the past go. He stands there like a celestial being. Back in the room, Jai Tiansai is having a total meltdown over his baby snake. He's crying like it's the end of the world. He's literally squeezing the life out of the poor king and trying to give it CPR. The Snake King is not having it and delivers a savage slap. The king's tiny snake brain is still rebooting from the trauma. He's fuming because some random Daoist blew up his hard work and sent him flying. Jai Tiansai, being the ultimate simp, goes to find him some food. In the haze of his memories, the king recalls the chaos of the array. He remembers the moment things went crazy. He realizes Jai Tiansai is definitely hiding way too many secrets. While Jai Tiansai is busy, the king turns his attention to the fat tiger demon, Amiao. Jai Tiansai accidentally steps on the poor tiger's tail on his way out, sending Amiao flying in a fit of rage. The tiger is terrified when a mysterious voice calls out to him. The king finally reveals his human form, and oh no, he's absolutely gorgeous. He gives a chilling smile and calls Amiao a traitor. Shizun is still out there looking ethereal under the moon. He stands firm as the elders question his methods. Shishu feels a sudden attack of guilty conscience and tries to change the subject. Back in the room, Chibai Amiao is bowing for his life. This chunky tiger used to serve the king's late father. The king demands to know why he's playing house with a human disciple. He literally ate his feelings until he was a massive 200 kg unit. He got stuck in a stone crevice while eating human food, and Jai Tiansai just happened to save him. He even offered his tail as collateral to pay for his meal. He asks why the simpleton let a tiger demon go so easily. Amiao is sweating buckets, claiming he's never actually killed anyone. He swears he's a vegetarian who wouldn't even step on an ant. The king isn't buying it and slams the bed in frustration. He demands to know everything about the Great War. His angry green eyes show he means business. Amiao is terrified and promises to spill all the tea. He recalls the demons being sealed away in the demon-oppressing valley. The king's interest is piqued by the mention of the valley. Amiao keeps kowtowing, begging for mercy. Suddenly, Jai Tiansai slams the door open, shouting that he's back. Amiao is caught in an awkward position. Jai Tiansai is completely confused by what he's seeing. He looks at Amiao, who claims he was just tired of standing. The king is panicking because he still hasn't found the valley. He tells Amiao to keep kneeling while he hides behind the bed curtains. But Jai Tiansai is determined to check on his baby. The king is freaking out because he suddenly can't turn back into a snake. He's desperately trying to change back. Jai Tiansai lifts the curtain to find a very naked, very handsome man sitting there. He gives the king a smug, knowing smile. Somehow, the king manages to poof back into a snake, huffing and puffing from the pure stress. Jai Tiansai offers him a single blade of celestial dew grass as a booster. The snake looks at the tiny blade of grass with total judgment. Jai Tiansai happily feeds his baby. The king munches on it while secretly dreaming of drinking human blood instead. Jai Tiansai showers the snake with kisses, and poor Amiao is just traumatized watching them. The king tells Amiao to come with him to the valley in the morning. Amiao thinks the king is clearly enjoying the attention. As the sun rises at 5:30 a.m., the mountains are covered in mist. Amiao is snoring away in his tiger form. The king wakes up and decides it's time to head out. He tries to sneak away while Jai Tiansai is still asleep. Jai Tiansai looks so peaceful while dreaming of his baby. But suddenly, a hand grabs the king's leg with a firm grip. Our poor king is caught red-handed and starts crying. He's shouting in pain as he's pulled back. Amy Ao wakes up to the commotion, wondering what on earth is going on. The tiger looks absolutely shocked by the scene unfolding before him. Someone is having way too much fun bullying this poor chibai snake. They're poking, pinching, and even stretching him like he's made of white taffy. Our poor boy eventually just gives up on life, realizing he's being treated like a counterfeit toy. Moving on, our leads are trekking through the woods when things start getting eerie. They arrive at a massive, ancient gate that looks like it's straight out of a horror movie. The tiger demons start spilling some major tea about a terrifying battle from the past. Back in the day, the demon race was unstoppable, reclaiming land and crushing everything in their path. But they hit a wall at Xi'an Mountain, protected by a master with insane powers. To force a fight, the Demon King started executing 10 innocent people every single day. It worked, and the master led his disciples down the mountain for an all-out war. Liu Wuxin isn't buying this story for a second, knowing his father would never be that petty. He demands the truth, looking absolutely lethal while he interrogates the fluffball. The tiger demon swears on his life he's not lying, though he was just a low-level spy at the time. While he was busy scouting the mountain, he heard the news that the demon race had been completely wiped out. The surviving demons were thrown into a valley to be tortured until the end of time. He only managed to escape by the skin of his teeth after starving in the bushes while the enemies chatted away. Liu Wuxin realizes there are some serious gaps in the story. Something major must have happened to his parents during that final clash. Suddenly, the forest goes wild as birds start slamming into an invisible seal. High above, a mysterious red-haired figure watches the chaos unfold with a sharp eye. This is Zhang Su, and he's not impressed by the animals trying to break free. Down below, the temple is being swallowed by a thick, suffocating purple energy. Liu Wuxin senses the smell of blood and decay getting stronger by the second. He tells the tiger to run for it, but the poor thing is already long gone. Suddenly, ghostly voices start screaming his name from the mist. These spirits are begging their king to save them, their pain echoing through the valley. But the tone shifts fast, and they start calling him a traitor who deserves to die 10,000 times. Jai Tiansai pulls him back from the brink, looking worried sick. He realizes the snake has been contaminated by evil energy and needs an immediate cleanse. He rushes into a nearby pavilion, determined to protect his baby at all costs. Inside, Liu Wuxin is struggling against the chains of his own power. His massive snake tail is twitching on the floor as he fights to stay conscious. He notices the evil energy is clinging to the very tip of the tail. As Liu Wuxin slowly wakes up, he realizes he's in a very compromising position. In his chibai form, he immediately goes for a bite to defend his honor. He's chompa attacking Jai Tiansai's chest while his tail wraps around him in a panic. Jai Tiansai is just trying to help, but he gets called a shitty pervert for his troubles. Our snake boy bolts out of there as fast as his little tail can carry him. But Jai Tiansai isn't giving up, chasing him down to finish the healing process. Liu Wuxin slithers up the rafters, swearing he'll die before letting anyone touch his tail again. Jai Tiansai tries to warn him that he's still unstable, but it's too late. The snake loses his balance and comes crashing down in a clumsy heap. Of course, Jai Tiansai is right there to catch him, though it looks a bit suspicious. Liu Wuxin threatens to kill him if he touches the tails, but the healing has already begun. As the energy flows back into him, Liu Wuxin feels a familiar dark power returning. He realizes he's finally reclaiming his true demonic energy. He stands tall, looking down at the crappy Daoist who saved him. But instead of a thank you, he decides to get his energy back by force. He pins Jai Tiansai down, demanding the return of his power with a deadly gaze. His tail wraps tightly around Jai Tiansai's neck, creating a very heated atmosphere. Jai Tiansai is blushing and panting, looking more flustered than scared. Meanwhile, the tiger demon is watching from the bushes, absolutely traumatized. From his perspective, it looks like his king is either killing the guy or engaging in some extreme foreplay. Suddenly, a terrifying red aura erupts from Jai Tiansai's body. Blood-red flowers start blooming everywhere as his expression turns hauntingly beautiful. He grabs Liu Wuxin's tail and pulls him in close, turning the tables in an instant. Red threads twine around them as Jai Tiansai finds a specific scale to fix. He inserts his energy directly into the scale, causing the Snake King to let out a muffled scream. In the tiger demon's eyes, this is the most terrifying snack time he's ever witnessed. Inside the dream realm, things are getting way too heated as a massive snake tail coils around our poor hero. Every touch is electric, and the tension in the air is thick enough to choke on. He can feel the cold scales pressing against him, pinning him down as he struggles to breathe. It's a chaotic mix of pleasure and pure panic as he's held captive. He screams out for Jai Tiansai to stop, but he's already caught in a web of red fate. The mysterious voice whispers baby in his ear, making his heart race at a dangerous speed. A single lick across his skin sends a jolt through his entire body. This guy is behaving like a completely different person, and our hero has zero defense against this savage intimacy. He can only stare wide-eyed, sweating bullets as the situation escalates. The intruder promises to touch every single inch of his skin and scales. He's building a golden cage made of nothing but obsessive love. A cage so beautiful and terrifying that there's absolutely no way out. He wants to make sure our boy can never escape his sight again. The embrace is suffocatingly sweet, surrounded by the ominous bloom of red spider lilies. Cages hang from the ceiling like a grim promise of what's to come. He is being trapped in a world where only the two of them exist. A world where he is told he will never, ever escape. Meanwhile, back in reality, the vibe is way less romantic and way more chaotic as our Chibai friend tries to pull the king out of a snake's mouth. When pulling doesn't work, he resorts to the ultimate language of violence with a chair and a frying pan. He decides it's time to use his secret weapon, the legendary brick of memory erasing. With a massive bang, he delivers a blow that would make anyone forget their own name. Both of them end up passed out on the grass, looking like a total disaster zone. The hawk seems to be reporting something urgent, cawing back and forth in their own secret language. Our girl is apparently a legendary spirit tamer, making even the most savage birds submit with just a glance. She decides she needs to handle things personally and prepares to move out. Her presence is absolutely regal as her cape flutters in the wind. But even she can't ignore the dark energy beginning to tear through the sky. She takes flight, leaving the onlookers in total awe of her power. A massive pillar of purple demonic energy erupts, piercing through the atmosphere. It's a dark omen that can be felt for miles, signaling that something ancient has been disturbed. Nestled in someone's hair, the little white snake stirs restlessly, sensing the shift in power. In a hazy flashback, a young boy stands with a kite, looking absolutely adorable and innocent. He looks up as pink petals drift through the air like a dream. A beautiful woman with a paper umbrella stands before him, looking like a goddess under the sun. He calls out mother, his voice filled with a longing that tugs at the heartstrings. She turns to him with a gentle, mysterious smile. But like all dreams, the memory begins to fade away into a shower of petals. The little snake snaps his eyes open, realizing he was just dreaming of his heavy-handed master. He and the tiger sense something dangerous approaching and immediately go on high alert. "Your Majesty, you're finally awake," the tiger cries out in relief. They watch as a dark shadow flies overhead, praying they weren't spotted. The tiger immediately starts bragging about how he saved the king from being swallowed whole. But our king isn't interested in fairy tales. He orders the tiger to follow the mysterious intruder. The tiger's soul practically leaves his body from pure terror. He's threatened with 70 slaps if he dares to flee his post. Our poor tiger friend is left weeping in the spotlight, realized he's been conscripted into a suicide mission. Back at the house, the little snake is still feeling petty and tosses the unconscious man onto the floor with a plop. He looks down at his victim, fuming about how blasphemous he was in the cultivation realm. He decides that a simple beating isn't enough, he needs a punishment that will last. He finds some special-grade, water-resistant pigment and gets a wicked idea. With an evil grin, he starts his career as an avant-garde makeup artist. He carefully applies the permanent ink, making sure every stroke is perfectly embarrassing. He uses his tail to hold the brush, showing off some seriously impressive artistic skills. He's putting his whole soul into this prank. The man groans in his sleep, completely unaware that he now looks like a circus act. When he finally wakes up, his head feels like it's been used for target practice. He catches a glimpse of himself in a bronze mirror and his brain completely short-circuits. "Shiju, stop right there," he roars, his voice echoing through the entire valley. A disciple approaches the house cautiously, wondering if it's even safe to enter given all the screaming. He walks in to find his master literally chasing a snake with a murderous look in his eyes. The disciple is stunned into silence by the ridiculous makeup on his master's face. He awkwardly tells him to clean up and follow him to see the headmaster. Since the doors are broken and the snake is a flight risk, the only solution is to shove the little menace into a water pot. Over at the master's residence, the tea is being poured in a serene, peaceful atmosphere. The master is sitting there looking all dignified and wise. But the second he sees our hero's face, he does a literal spit take with his tea. It turns out the master isn't doing much better. He's got a turtle drawn on his forehead and a fake mustache. They both sit there in a very awkward silence, trying to maintain their dignity while looking like doodles. The master tries to play it cool, claiming his markings are from a retaliating spell. Our boy has to admit his own war paint was done by the snake he's raising. The master is impressed, noting that the spirit animal must have a very spiritual nature. Our hero just sighs, listing off how mischievous and stubborn the little brat actually is. We see a montage of the snake being an absolute terror, hiding in corners, biting fingers until they bled, and even creepily watching him bathes. The little snake, currently stuck in a pot, lets out a massive sneeze, probably sensing someone is talking trash behind his back. Despite the chaos, our boy still hopes the snake will eventually learn some manners. The master decides to stop the gossip and check on his cultivation progress. He asks him to hold out his hand for a pulse check. As the energy flows, the master's expression turns serious. He asks if our hero has violated any precepts or been tainted by demonic aura recently. Our boy immediately flashes back to the spicy scenes in the dream realm and starts blushing like a tomato. He stammers out a lie, claiming he was just helping his spirit animal diffuse some energy. The master warns him that the darkness surrounding his heart is actually getting stronger. Just then a disciple bursts in, screaming that something terrible has happened. He's panting and pale, clearly delivering news from the demon-oppressing valley. Outside, the sky is filled with a literal swarm of crows, cawing so loudly it's deafening. It's a massive black cloud that definitely isn't normal. The master looks up, his face losing all its humor as he realizes the seal might be breaking. Even the little snake in the pot stops his struggling, sensing the dark power vibrating through the air. A thick, ominous purple mist begins to swallow the mountain peaks. Deep within the valley, the ancient structures groan under the weight of a dark energy. Word reaches the disciples that the great Zhengsu Shibo has personally entered the Forbidden Zone to investigate the disturbance. Yan Yang, a disciple from the Spirit Tamer faction, is sweating bullets because all communication with the master has been completely cut off. The situation is critical because the 8-pointed suppressing chimes surrounding the valley won't stop ringing. If the main array protecting the demon-oppressing valley is shattered, the entire region will collapse into chaos. The disciples realize that if the seal breaks, many ancient evil demons will be unleashed to plunge the world back into an abyss of darkness. Yan Yang insists he knows the way in, but the mission is basically a suicide run. Our girl Liang Yunjiao and her fellow swordsmen immediately volunteer to join the fray. Even Jai Tianzai steps forward, willing to risk his neck for the cause. But the high-ranking disciples aren't having it, tightening their gear and preparing for a quality over quantity mission. The blue-haired Chang Shan takes charge, handpicking only 4 elite disciples while leaving the rest behind. He warns them to be careful as there's no room for error. Our poor hero Jai Tianzai tries to appeal to his master, but he's met with a cold shoulder. The other disciples start mocking him, claiming he doesn't even have the basic qualifications to step foot in the valley. They laugh at him for trying to steal the spotlight again before leaving him in the dust. Just as the group departs, something starts rustling in the nearby bushes. Jai Tianzai's senses go on high alert as he realizes he's not actually alone. High above, the sky turns a sickly shade of gray as the earthquake tremors intensify. Miao, a local scout, reports that the fighting has already begun inside the valley. He warns that the demons inside aren't exactly vegetarians and going in solo is a death wish. But our favorite Chibai snake isn't interested in a lecture and demands to know the entrance spell immediately. Miao reveals a living speech smoke cloud, which is used to store secret instructions and teleportation spells. Miao starts laughing like a maniac, thinking he's the smartest guy in the room. Suddenly, a hand reaches out and grabs the little guy by the head. It's Jai Tianzai, and he delivers a savage forehead flick that sends Miao spiraling. He scolds the little scout for being a bad influence and enticing his companion to such a dangerous place. Miao tries to defend himself, pointing out that the companion is actually a terrifying snake. But Jai Tianzai is completely blinded by cuteness, swooning over the obedient little snaky snake. He cuddles the creature, totally ignoring the fact that it's a high-level demonic beast. He reveals he placed a tracking scent on the others, making him the ultimate stalker. Suddenly, the smoke spell begins to spill out of Miao's bag in a chaotic swirl. Miao panics as the black smoke consumes the clearing. The ancient enter command activates, glowing with a fierce light. Luckily for Miao, the spell only takes Jai Tianzai and the snake, leaving the scout to celebrate getting off work early. Jai Tianzai lands in the valley with a heavy thud. He looks around at the skeletal trees and the murder of crows, realizing he's officially in the demon-oppressing valley. The snake is already annoyed, calling the other disciples extra burdens. The group is shocked to see Jai Tianzai actually made it inside, and he has to stammer out a terrible lie about being worried for their safety. The toxic disciples start whispering, convinced he's hiding a dangerous demonic animal in his hair. The snake gives them a glowing green death stare that sends literal chills down their spines. The mean-spirited disciples decide to keep him around, secretly scheming to let the valley's demons settle the score for them. Jai Tianzai is still confused about how he actually got in, while the snake just thinks he's a total simpleton. They find a massive rock sealed with chains and glowing talismans. These are the marks of the Chiai Immortal, meant to keep the demons at bay. The group notices fresh blood splattered across the rocks, suggesting a brutal struggle recently took place. They fear Shibo has been seriously injured, but Jai Tianzai notices something the others missed. He realizes the blood on the ground isn't actually human. The leader decides to split the party, sending the youngsters to the west while he heads east alone. He hands them a tactical casket for defense, warning them to run if they encounter a fell spirit. He can't help but roast Liang Yunjiao one last time, reminding her not to sit in a ditch and cry if she gets lost again. She's absolutely salty as they head out, fuming over the insult to her sense of direction. Of course, within seconds, she starts walking the exact wrong way. She reluctantly lets the others take the lead to avoid further embarrassment. As they trek deeper, the air becomes thick with the smell of something rotting. The ground becomes dangerously slippery and sickening to the touch. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream rips through the air as Liang Yunjiao is snatched upward. A massive, winged bat demon known as the Vampire King looms over them, cackling about how he hasn't smelled fresh human meat in ages. He calls her a prime ingredient and prepares to feast. But Jai Tiansai isn't letting that happen on his watch, swinging his blade in a blinding flash. He manages to sever the demon's hand, forcing it to drop our girl as the others rush to protect her. The Vampire King is impressed, recognizing them as Heaven Seeker disciples. He explodes into a swarm of thousands of bats, mocking the disciples for following an immortal who is long dead. Jai Tiansai stands his ground, calling the creature vile and demanding it repent for its crimes. The Demon King just laughs, revealing the swarm is nearly impossible to hit. Liang Yunjiao recognizes the sinister monster and screams for the others to initiate the defense array. But the two toxic male disciples refuse to help, crossing their arms and saying Jai Tiansai should be able to handle it alone. Disgusted by their cowardice, Liang Yunjiao declares she won't abandon a comrade. She steps forward alone, summoning her own spiritual array to pin the demon down. She tells Jai Tiansai that the king is hidden within the clusters, and he must find the true form to end this. But as the bats swarm her, a spray of blood hits the ground and a scream echoes through the dark valley. The little white snake realizes following the group is a waste of time, and decides to double back to check on Jai Tiansai. It seems his 100 years of cultivation are on the line if the guy kicks the bucket. Meanwhile, Jai Tiansai is busy playing hero, fending off a literal swarm of purple bats while carrying his unconscious Shiji. The snake is absolutely fuming, convinced he's out here womanizing while his king is worried sick. Our tiny, angry noodle is ready to give him some major attitude. But before the snake can strike, it gets spotted by two others who think they've finally cornered a demonic beast. They're desperate to catch it, thinking this is their lucky break. The snake tries to play it cool behind the rocks, but these guys are closing in fast. Back at the scene of the crime, Jai Tiansai is panicking because his Shiji was bitten by a demonic bat. The poison is nasty, and the Bat King mocks him, claiming she'll turn into a puddle of blood within 3 days. The king decides Jai Tiansai is next on the menu and lunges for his throat. Big mistake, our boy grabs the bat midair with a surge of terrifying red energy. The Bat King is shook as he feels his demonic powers being literally sucked out of him. With a sickening splat, the bat's power vanishes, and Jai Tiansai is left with blood on his face and a dark look in his eyes. He basically detonates the king with a single squeeze. He notes that cultivated power just doesn't hit the same as the real deal. He stands there looking like a total savage with glowing red eyes, hands dripping with blood. Even the local demons hiding in the trees think this guy is way too dirty to handle. Two demon sisters watching from the sidelines are absolutely terrified of the man who just crushed a king with his bare hands. They wonder if he'll kill them too if they try to suck up to him. Suddenly, Jai Tiansai snaps back to his dumb self, frantically rummaging around for his missing snake. The sisters realize he's not exactly a genius, but if he can kill the Vampire King, he can definitely get them out of this valley. They swoop in with boxes of gold and jewels, calling him their savior. They claim they were bullied for years and offer everything they own. They're even willing to devote their bodies if the gold isn't enough. Jai Tiansai is just confused, asking if he actually killed the king. They point to the blood on his hands as proof, calling it an unparalleled heroic act. He's genuinely lost, trying to remember what happened during his blackout. The sisters keep up the act, describing how the king used to feed on their blood. They claim so many small demons died and they were helpless. They bat their eyelashes, thanking their lucky stars he showed up. Our boy is dizzy from all the attention, but he has his priorities straight. He needs his white snake. The sisters are baffled by his obsession with a reptile. They whisper that he's definitely a bit touched in the head, but they plan to trick him into coming to the drunken celestial pavilion. They promise he'll find his snake there. Plus, they remind him that his Shiji needs an antidote for the bat poison. These sisters are laying the charm on thick. Jai Tiansai agrees to go, but only until Shiji is safe. Meanwhile, by a quiet river, a mysterious white-haired man watches prayer lanterns float by. He stands on the dock, lost in thought. He reaches out to touch one, feeling a wave of nostalgia. It reminds him of the last time he saw these lights with his mother. In his memory, his mother holds a glowing lotus. She looks ethereal in her red cloak amidst the snow. She explains that demons use these to carve their wishes. The more lanterns there are, the more likely a deity will notice. Back in reality, he finds it ironic to see these symbols of hope in a demon-oppressing valley. His peace is ruined when two guys stumble upon him, asking if he's seen a long white snake. He just stares at them while holding his lantern. One of them realizes too late that this person is actually a high-level demon. Jai Tiansai and the sisters arrive at the valley's popular demon market. It's a bustling place full of homebred grape wine and massive pearl necklaces. The vendors are aggressive, trying to sell their wares to the group. Jai Tiansai is shocked by how rich life is in this prison valley. The sisters explain that a certain Daoist brings in luxury goods from the outside world. They lead him toward the pavilion to get the antidote. But there's a catch, humans aren't allowed inside, so he needs a disguise. He ends up in a flashy red outfit that he complains is way too revealing. The shopkeeper insists it's the most modest thing she has. She tells him it's a perfect match, and that he shouldn't be so picky about human formalities. Jai Tiansai is a chibai mess, having tried on a dozen outfits while still crying for his baby snake. He suspects this was all a setup. He finally flees the store, leaving the sisters to gossip behind his back. They wonder if this simpleton can really save them, but they decide to stick with the plan since he's their only ticket out. They enter the drunken celestial pavilion, a gaudy replica of the real thing. They book a first-rate suite, while the sisters keep a close eye on their savior. They use a special incense to treat the Shiji's toxins. She lies unconscious as the smoke does its work. The sisters claim the incense cost them a fortune and try to use it as leverage to stay by his side. Jai Tiansai isn't having it and kicks them out, demanding some space. The sisters are livid, vowing to make him regret treating them like trash. Outside, they run into two cloaked figures. They are surprised to see them so early. The figures ignore them and head straight for Jai Tiansai's room. They knock, calling for him by name. The door opens, and it turns out to be his Shishu and some other disciples. The Shishu is confused by Jai Tiansai's spicy new look. They explain how they got separated, and Jai Tiansai tells them about the Bat King. The Shishu's soul nearly leaves his body when he hears the Shiji was poisoned. He screams for Jiao Jiao in a total panic. He starts sobbing over her, terrified her dad will behead him for letting this happen. He even asks her to write a death note exonerating him before she passes. Jai Tiansai has to tell him to stop shaking her before he kills her himself. The demon sisters watch through the door, thrilled that they have even more chances to escape now. The group decides to head out and scout the valley. The Shishu looks like he's already done with this mission. They discuss their failed search for Jiangsu. Suddenly, the ceiling caves in as someone crashes through. Jai Tiansai looks up in shock. It's a figure in white, and the men on the ground are begging for mercy. The white-haired demon's eyes are cold. He threatens them with his whip, asking if they really thought he'd let them go. The gossip is already spreading like wildfire about the mysterious newcomer in white. The locals are terrified he might be a demon from the infamous Beisha prison, but they're more concerned with staying out of his way. Our gorgeous demon boy, isn't playing around, threatening to leave these disciples missing a few limbs if they don't start talking. But before things get too bloody, a hand grabs his whip. It's Jai Tiansai, looking every bit the brooding hero as he steps in to mediate. The tension between them is thick enough to cut with a sword. But inside, our white-haired demon is having some very chaotic thoughts about how unnecessary Jai Tiansai's chest fabric is. He's literally fighting the urge to rip it off and have a taste, proving that even powerful demons can be absolute thirst traps. He plays it cool, asking who these two losers are to Jai Tiansai. The disciples are currently a pathetic mess on the floor, crying about how they were just minding their business when they were viciously attacked. Our demon boy just scoffs, demanding reimbursement for his damaged whip. The disciples try to call him out on his lies, but Jai Tiansai has had enough of their noise. He has them dragged away like the trash they are and suggests settling the debt over a drink instead. Our demon boy agrees instantly. Who could say no to that face? Meanwhile, the little cat and rabbit demons are lurking in the shadows, gnashing their teeth and praying this new guy doesn't ruin their sinister plans. These two innocents are actually plotting to drug the wine and food to take them both down. They put on their best customer service act, bringing the spread to the room. Our demon boy plays along, letting them in to serve the feast. As soon as the door closes, the little demons are practically celebrating their victory. They're convinced that once the drug kicks in, they'll be the ones in control. Inside, Jai Tiansai is still skeptical, asking how innocent these demons really are. He knows the valley is full of predators, and he wants to know why our white-haired beauty was sealed here in the first place. Our demon boy just smirks, telling him to finish his wine first. Jai Tiansai downs it in one shot, totally unaware of the sinister smile behind the veil. Within seconds, his head is spinning and he collapses onto the table. Our boy knew the wine was drugged the second he smelled it, but he let Jai Tiansai drink it anyway just to see him fall into his hands. He's got big plans for this abundance of romance. As Jai Tiansai lies there unconscious, our demon boy decides that the chest fabric really has to go. He's in full Snake King mode now, stripping away the clothes because he needs a comfortable spot to sleep. He shifts into his adorable chibai snake form, looking way too happy for someone who just kidnapped a man. He starts marking his territory, rubbing his scent all over Jai Tiansai's bare chest. He's feeling quite proud of himself, until something starts poking him from below. He lifts his head, coming face to face with a massive mushroom that definitely wasn't part of his plan. He's absolutely stunned by the size, wondering if this is even allowed to be shown. Flustered, he decides he needs to find Jai Tiansai a new outfit before things get even more awkward. Jai Tiansai eventually groans awake, his head pounding from the drug. He realizes he was played and starts having hazy dreams of his little white snake. He looks up to see our demon boy standing over him, acting like nothing happened. But the peace is short-lived as the shadows of the two small demons appear on the door. They think they've caught their prey and burst in, ready to tie everyone up. They're planning to interrogate them in the cellar, convinced they can find a way out of the valley. They start trash-talking Jai Tiansai's friend, wishing death upon her. They even laugh at the idea of the white snake, calling it a laughable little creature. Suddenly, a massive cold hand grabs one of them by the shoulder. Jai Tiansai is awake, and he is absolutely furious that they dared to curse his little snake. The small demon turns around, sweating bullets as she realizes the man she thought was drugged is now a literal nightmare. Outside, the entire inn is being smashed to pieces in the chaos. By the next morning, the Heaven Seeker disciples arrive to find the pavilion in total ruins. They are a step too late, but the fox demon disciple Hulai isn't too worried as long as there's money to be made. He suggests they go in and ask around, maybe even try some demon specialties while they're at it. The eldest disciple Zhang Jiyuan isn't amused by the chatter. He's cold, focused, and has zero time for Hulai's nonsense about living in the moment. Back in the woods, the two small demons are now begging for their lives on their knees. They claim they only play tricks for money, never lives. Jai Tiansai isn't buying the act, demanding to know if they had anything to do with the disappearance of the local Daoist. The girl denies everything, claiming the Daoist didn't stay long at the pavilion. A mysterious long-haired silhouette seems to be the one truly pulling the string, and these small demons are too terrified to cross them. Jai Tiansai is losing patience. His friend Yun Jiao needs an antidote immediately. The cat demon quickly squeals that there's a powerful healer in Beisha prison who can help. Our white-haired demon boy Azin is skeptical, wondering why they should believe these liars a second time. He decides to give them a little motivation by firing a volley of ice needles. They hit home, and he explains that the cold poison inside is 100 times more painful than anything they've felt before. Terrified, they agree to lead the way to the prison. Jai Tiansai and Azin end up sharing a horse, much to Azin's secret delight. They ride toward the mountains, arriving at a hidden ancient structure. Jai Tiansai notices how uncomfortably close they are on the horse, but his attention is quickly diverted by the temple ahead. It's the temple of the Snake King. Azin has a moment of realization, his eyes widening behind the veil. He tries to act natural when Jai Tiansai asks if he's okay. Jai Tiansai asks for his name again, and he simply says to call him Azin. He admits he's from the Snake Clan, but notes that his horns are special. Jai Tiansai then asks for a favor. He's looking for a small white snake with green horns. Azin smirks, asking if it's his pet. Jai Tiansai starts imagining his poor snake being mistreated and toyed with by the clan, feeling like an absolute monster for losing it. But Azin just laughs, telling him the snake actually said it wanted to experience something again. The temple looms before them, looking every bit as cursed as the rumors suggested. Jai Tiansai warns his team to stay on high alert, but this place is already playing tricks on their senses. A boy tries to lead the way through the courtyard, but the fog is getting thick enough to choke on. Suddenly, a voice whispers his name through the mist. He spins around in a panic, only to find that his companions have vanished into thin air. The world turns into a white void in a heartbeat, and he can't even see the floor beneath his feet. Poor Jai Tiansai is running around like a headless chicken, until he spots a familiar figure through the haze. It's his beloved Shijiu, looking absolutely ethereal while lounging on a tree branch. The demon asks why he's in such a dangerous place, and our hero is sweating bullets, worried sick about his demon's safety. But Shijiu has other plans, looking ready to devour him right then and there. Jai Tiansai starts sobbing, promising to give the demon everything if they can just leave this valley. He's a mess of tears and snot, but then he pauses. Something smells weirdly off. The demon leans in close, whispering about dual cultivation so they can stay together forever. Jai Tiansai is blushing like a tomato and totally dizzy, but the romantic moment is ruined by a savage slap. The demon screeches in pain, as Jai Tiansai demands to know who dared to hit his man. Enter the real Azin, looking absolutely disgusted. He tells the simpleton to actually look at who he's talking to. Jai Tiansai gasps as the demon's face literally disappears into a blank slate. It was a fake imposter all along. The real Azin doesn't hesitate, grabbing the fake by the throat. He's furious that some low-level spirit used his face to seduce passersby. The fake cries out that it was only reflecting Jai Tiansai's deepest obsessions, and it couldn't help what it became. Azin responds with a flurry of slaps because he's petty like that. Jai Tiansai begs Azin to help him find the real little snake. Azin smirks, noting that his services come at a heavy cost. He wants energy. He gets real personal, touching Jai Tiansai's chest and admitting he's a total villain. He wants every drop of energy, even if it leaves Jai Tiansai a husk for years. Our desperate hero agrees to the deal, but before they can finalize anything, Jai Tiansai senses a massive threat. Gigantic, thorny vines explode from the ground. The entire hall starts to rumble and crack. Demonic flowers burst through the floor like a nightmare garden. They bolt for the exit, with Azin looking more annoyed than scared. The vines are relentless, closing in from every angle. Azin screams at the simpleton to hurry up and open the exit array. In the chaos, Azin's veil gets snatched by the wind. The vines swallow the hallway whole. Jai Tiansai is confused, shouting for him to stay back, but Azin hops right into the thick of it. Suddenly, there's a massive bang, and in the smoke, a tiny white snake appears. Jai Tiansai's eyes turn into little hearts as he scoops up the new snake. He's totally infatuated, thinking he found a new best friend for his other pet. He's already planning their playdates, while the snake, who is definitely Azin, is fuming. But the honeymoon phase is short because the vines are picking up speed. Jai Tiansai whips out a fire talisman and chucks it at the monster. It actually works and our boy is feeling himself. He's proud of his work, but the snake is just over it, thinking Jai Tiansai is an idiot for making the demon angrier. Then the dark miasma returns. A shadowy voice whispers in his ear, tempting him to kill the plant and steal its power. Jai Tiansai struggles as the corruptions start to seep into his skin. The darkness promises him the strength to protect his little snake, but he tries to fight it off. While he's distracted, the vines bind the poor white snake. The snake is screaming for help, wondering why Jai Tiansai is just standing there spacing out. His hand is glowing with a sinister red light. Outside, the rest of the group is losing their minds. The Shishu realizes they're dealing with an ancient, poisonous demon. He orders everyone to dodge the incoming attacks and get on their swords to escape. Just then, a flashy new player arrives, sensing the massive demonic energy. It's the guy with the unlimited money fan, and he looks like he's here to spend. He decides it's time to show off a little. He raises his fan and literally starts raining gold coins and ingots. He's literally throwing money at his problems. A massive gold bar smashes into the demon vines with the force of a meteor. Watching from the sidelines is a mysterious man in a black hood. His heterochromatic eyes are cold and calculating. He starts walking toward the center of the storm. The money guy is shocked that his Shiksheng is jumping straight into the pit. But this is the eldest Shiksheng, and he's clearly on another level. He prepares a high-level spell. A storm of spiritual swords rains down on the vines. The entire area is obliterated in a flash of white light. He lands like an absolute boss, his weapon gleaming. He walks right up to Jai Tiansai and points his spear at his throat. He coldly asks if Jai Tiansai is done faking it. Jai Tiansai is still clutching the white snake to his chest. Azin just smirks, seemingly enjoying the drama. The Shishu is running over, desperately trying to stop a second world war from breaking out. Our snake demon Azin finally opens his eyes, only to find himself in a very awkward and way too close embrace. But there's zero time for romance because the rest of the group is already at each other's throats. The bickering is absolutely chaotic as they try to pry the two apart, with hissing and shouting filling the air. Shishujiun finally steps in to play peacemaker before someone actually loses an eye. He's busy wondering why certain people's hair keeps changing colors while trying to keep the peace. But the eldest Shiksheng isn't buying any of it, looking absolutely savage and suspicious of everyone around him. The slander is flying fast and loose, and the tension is high enough to snap a sword. Meanwhile, our fox girl Hulai is standing in the back looking suspiciously guilty about some missing hearing aids. Jiyuan has a massive headache dealing with these kids while explaining they need an antidote from the prison. They decide to split up, though some of them are being dragged along like literal baggage. Our greedy fox queen Hulai immediately opposes the plan because she wants to stick with the big spenders. She claims it's all about family and loyalty, but we know her heart belongs to the coin. Sure enough, as soon as a bag of 20 coins hits the table, her loyalty flips faster than a pancake. She's warned that being a demon working for the clan makes her a target, but she's too busy counting her riches to care. Azin watches the whole display, sensing that something is definitely fishy with this group. They start searching for the healers, dwelling and stumble upon a mysterious feather on the floor. It's a feather from a golden eagle, a clear sign that they are on the right track. It looks like someone purposely left a trail to guide them through this foggy mess. They decide to follow the feathers, hoping it leads straight to Shifu. Eldest Shiksheng remains on high alert, warning everyone that he's not above killing a demon if they step out of line. Azin tries to act innocent, but he's clearly more dangerous than he lets on. The group is a walking powder keg of secrets and hidden motives. While one is worried about his snake baby sleeping well, the others are questioning why a certain someone's hair turned red earlier. Eldest Shiksheng is determined to look into the mystery of Azin's lack of demonic energy. The internal monologues are getting spicy, with thoughts of dating two perverts for the price of one. But the mood shifts back to cold steel as they climb the stairs, with Eldest Shiksheng looking ready to commit violence. We flash back to a year ago where the seeds of this suspicion were first planted. Eldest Shiksheng was already questioning Shifu about whether Jai Tiansai was actually human. The mystery of the red hair and the possession has been eating at him for a long time. Shifu, however, was a total brick wall, telling him to mind his own business and just report back. The trail leads to a sinkhole where it turns out Shibo actually ate the golden eagle because he was hungry. Before they can process that, a voice screams out threats of murder from the shadows. Someone is out for Zhang Su's blood and they aren't playing around. The group leaps into action, weapons drawn and ready for a lethal confrontation. Sword in hand, they charge forward, telling everyone else to stay out of the way. The demonic energy is thick enough to choke on as they rush into the clearing. They expect a bloodbath, but instead they find something much more domestic. Shibo is just sitting there playing mahjong with a bunch of demons like it's a Sunday afternoon. It's a total winning hand situation that leaves the entire group completely speechless. They thought he was in mortal peril, but he was just busy winning tiles and getting lost in caves. A cow demon acts as a translator, explaining that Shibo ate the eagle because he was starving and had no way to fly out. The messenger looks just as exhausted as we feel watching this chaos. They try to introduce Azin as their helpful guide, but the vibe shifts instantly. Shibo drops the ultimate bombshell. There has never been a demon named Azin in this entire valley. Jiangsu confirms he knows every single demon here and Azin is a total fraud. The tension returns in a heartbeat as the group realizes they've been traveling with a stranger. In a flash, a spear is at Azin's throat as the interrogation begins. Eldest Shixing demands to know his real motives for infiltrating the clan amidst all this chaos. Azin tries to block the attack, but the eldest Shixing is done playing games. His eyes glow with a savage intensity, ready to convict the intruder on the spot. But Azin just smirks, claiming he has his own method for dealing with this. Jiangsu watches the drama unfold, completely unfazed by the potential bloodshed. We learn that Jiangsu was raised by animals and has a very unique relationship with monsters. Azin decides to make the first move before they can pin him down. He lunges forward, grabbing a hostage in a move that shocks the entire group. He tells them not to move a single muscle if they value their clansmen's lives. It's a classic hostage situation with a sharp blade pressed right against a throat. The betrayal hits hard, and the group can only watch in horror as Azin reveals his true colors. Eldest Shixing is fuming, reminding everyone that he warned them about this guy. Azin claims he only wants to survive, but his grip doesn't loosen for a second. He leans in close, whispering something that sounds way too intimate for a kidnapping. He calls out Daoist with a playful lick that sends the tension into a whole different category. It's a phrase that rings a very familiar bell for our poor victim. Jiangsu tells the others not to bother chasing because there's no actual killing intent behind the move. He knows this demon won't actually cause any real harm. They retreat back to the entrance of the maze, but Azin still won't let go. He insists that he hasn't received his proper compensation for the trip yet. With one last perverted gesture, Azin disappears into the mist, leaving everyone flustered. Eldest Shixing is absolutely livid, throwing his weapon in a fit of rage. He's determined to catch the trash demon before he gets away. The two of them start bickering like an old married couple, screaming about who's harboring whom. It's a total mess of shouting, accusations, and high-octane drama. They grab onto the weapon and the struggle is so intense that the metal actually starts to groan. With a loud snap, the spear is bent completely out of shape. A handy guide appears to remind us all to guard against demonic tricks and treasure our hearts. It's a savage commentary on how easily these guys were played by a pretty face. Finally, Shishu tries to negotiate with a small spirit for some much-needed medicine. But the healer is a total diva who refuses to treat any humans. Jiangsu confirms the healer's strict demons-only policy, leaving them in a tough spot. That's when Azin suggests a plan that is as brilliant as it is terrifying. He suggests poisoning the local demons so the healer is forced to come out and save them. The entire group is horrified by the sheer audacity of the idea. But as they look at each other, they realize it might be the only way to get what they need. Two low-level demons are absolutely shaking in their boots, wondering how they got into this mess. But the drama is just starting as a heavy door creaks open. An old woman steps out looking like she's seen it all and stares down Jai Tiansai and the gang. She offers to lead the way to the healer, and for a second, everyone breathes a sigh of relief. But hold up, she's got rules. Only one person is allowed to go inside with the patient. Jiyuan is immediately suspicious, wondering if this is a trap to separate them. The old lady doesn't care about his attitude. She reminds them they are the ones begging for help. And apparently the healer already has a specific VIP guest in mind. She points her finger with zero hesitation. And of course, it's our boy Jai Tiansai. The white-haired master looks like he's about to explode from pure jealousy and distrust. But the healer is firm. She doesn't trust any of them except for the Daozhang. It's his way or the highway if they want the humans saved. The old servant just waits for them to quit bickering and make a choice. Finally, they realize saving a life is more important than their petty drama and let him go. Even in Chibai form, they can't help but worry about the side quests waiting for them. Jai Tiansai hauls the patient through a long, dimly lit tunnel. It's cold, damp, and honestly, the vibes are immaculate for a horror movie. He starts wondering if this healer is even real. Suddenly, a voice rings out calling for Beiyabao. And look who it is, a tiny snake with the most seductive eyes you've ever seen. Our boy's favorite little noodle actually showed up. Jai Tiansai goes full fanboy, trying to sneak a kiss while the snake calls him a total pervert. He tries to convince the little guy to hang out around his neck while he carries the patient. But the snake decides to find a much warmer spot inside his robes. Talk about a literal snake throne. As they move deeper, the air gets heavy with a familiar dark energy. Even the little snake peeks out, sensing something that sets off alarm bells. They finally reach the inner sanctum, and Jai Tiansai calls out for the healer. He pushes the doors open. Inside, he finds a woman who looks like she stepped straight out of a painting. She's breathtaking, sitting perfectly still in the light. She calls him a childhood nickname, and he can only whisper mother. He remembers her being so gentle, calling him to her side. But the memory shatters as we see the truth. She was the one poisoning his snacks every single day. He cries out in his mind, asking why she would betray her own flesh and blood. The voice in his head mocks him, revealing the slow poison she fed him. The scene shifts to a rainy night of absolute misery. There he is, bound and forced to kneel in the mud while the guards watch. He screams his innocence to the sky. He points the blame at the woman standing next to his father, the one who's been lying all along. But she just stands there cold and unbothered. She whispers to her husband that the boy is too stubborn and needs to be broken. Her solution is to cripple his demonic energy and lock him away forever. He looks up at her, realizing his mother is his greatest enemy. She wants him powerless so he can never stir up trouble again. Thankfully, Jai Tiansai's voice breaks the nightmare, asking what's wrong with his baby. He's back to being a cheerful chaos demon, promising to protect the little snake from whatever scared him. They step into the main room, but the lady healer is nowhere to be seen. The place is totally empty. He carefully sets the unconscious patient down to rest. He spots a side door, maybe she's hiding in there. But inside, he finds a room that's clearly been abandoned for a long time. A massive statue of Guanyin looms over everything. He's confused why a demon would be praying to a Buddhist goddess. He moves toward the altar and finds a perfect snake shed just lying there. The little snake looks like he knows something we don't. Jai Tiansai remembers seeing her recite sutras in the past. He notices a scroll left out in the open. It feels too convenient, like she left it specifically for him to find. But the moment he opens it, the trap is sprung. A magical snap echoes through the room. He's hit with a wave of dizziness. The little snake panics, thinking he's losing his mind again. Jai Tiansai grabs him, his eyes looking a little too wild. He's back in chaos mode, calling the snake his baby. The magic forces the snake into his human form, and he is not happy about being exposed. He flashes a savage smirk that spells trouble for our Snake King. He leans in, acting like he's missed his baby so much. He brings up the old legends about goddesses giving birth. And then he drops the bombs. He wants to make a little snake with him right now. The Snake King isn't playing, grabbing him by the throat and threatening to rip out his heart. But our boy just laughs, calling him naughty for resisting. The wounds on his neck heal before the Snake King can even blink. He realizes Jai Tiansai is far from human. Suddenly, those glowing red strings appear, binding them together. The Snake King curses. These strings are his absolute weakness. The moment they touch him, he loses all his strength. He's left bound and blindfolded, completely at Jai Tiansai's mercy. Jai Tiansai tells him to be quiet because it's time for prayers. He pulls out a golden pin and starts pouring a mysterious liquid over the captive king. It drips down his chest and all the way down to his tail. The Snake King is terrified, demanding to know what he just used. Jai Tiansai just smiles. It's just a little bit of aphrodisiac. The king's body starts heating up instantly. He's trembling, his senses overwhelmed. Jai Tiansai whispers that his scales are way too sensitive. He leans in close, breathing down his neck, and promises him sweets if he behaves. In Chibai land, the Snake King is secretly losing the battle against how soft and squishy this is. Jai Tiansai gives him one final choice: agree to make that little snake, or the touching stops here. The tension is thick as he leans in, asking if he likes the girl. The Snake King is playing a dangerous game of seduction, trapping his prey. He demands to know if it's the beast or the man he truly desires. With a sudden yank, the pretense of politeness is gone. Fruit clatters across the floor as things get heated. A massive snake tail coils around our guy, pinning him down in a savage embrace. Our poor hero can't even struggle as their lips meet. The king's touch is light, almost tender as he caresses his ear. They descend into a chaotic mess of passion and power. Long hair sways as the intensity of the moment rises. Hands interlock, grasping for control in this heated exchange. The king pulls back, asking if the inspection was finally satisfactory. Jai Tiansai's eyes are dazed, his focus entirely on the man above him. The king just smirks, telling him to take a wild guess. He tilts his chin up, demanding his full attention. Soft moans fill the air as the atmosphere becomes electric. They lose themselves in the moment, hidden behind the foliage. Every touch is a spark, every movement a calculated move in this game. The king realizes his demonic powers are finally surging back. He continues the assault, kissing him as the dark energy flows. But the romance turns into a horror show as blood splatters across the sacred statue. The shadows loom large, revealing a gruesome sight. A body lies broken, a life extinguished in the blink of an eye. Smoke and coughing fill the room as the aftermath settles. Jai Tiansai bleeds out, calling him a truly wicked snake. But the king is cold as ice, literally holding a heart in his hand. He warns that next time it won't just be a flesh wound. He leaves the carnage behind without a single backward glance. Back with the healer, the mood is much more somber. She tends to her work, her face full of quiet worry. Our girl Jiao is still out cold, unaware of the chaos outside. A tiny snake delivers a bite, fighting poison with poison to save her. The king demands to know exactly where this healer came from. She bows low, explaining she served the previous king. She was a prisoner of the Great War, a survivor of a brutal era. He presses her for details about his father's true fate. And then the bombshell drops. It wasn't the enemy, but the previous king who slaughtered his own people. He can't believe his ears, his eyes wide with shock. She describes a descent into madness, a kingdom bewitched by the moon devourer. To save what was left of the clan, concubine Tang had to kill the king herself. The king lets out a hollow, savage laugh at the irony. He suspects it was all a painstaking scheme to seize power. He shifts focus to the scroll, demanding to know its secrets. It was a gift from the concubine, kept hidden for a moment just like this. He knows she's been here, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. But the healer doesn't know where she's hiding now. He turns away, vowing that she won't be able to stay hidden forever. On the table, Jai Tiansai's hair remains, a haunting reminder of the fight. But wait, a flower mark glows on his chest, repairing the damage to his body. Outside, the group is pacing nervously, fearing the worst. They're terrified of what Shixing will do if they failed. Suddenly, Jiao comes flying out, much to their relief. They swarm her, acting like they were worried sick the whole time. But an hour ago, things were way more chaotic as the king tried to finish the jobs. He's fuming that this bastard Jai Tiansai can actually resurrect. He finds the whole situation absolutely revolting. He can't even kill him properly, and touching him feels gross. He decides to hide as a small snake on the guy's shoulder to infiltrate the clan. The array opens, and it's time for everyone to head back. Jiao is confused, wondering why she keeps blacking out. They hurry through the portal, eager to leave this cursed place. A mysterious figure in floral shoes approaches. Carrying an umbrella, they watch the group depart through the mist. It's a silent, watchful presence at the gate. The little snake on the shoulder peeks out, sensing something. The snake is on high alert, his eyes darting around. He catches a scent, it smells just like that woman. But Jiao is just happy to be going home, oblivious to the stowaway. All our girl wants to do is crawl into bed and sleep for a week. But as they enter the gates, duty calls. They're exhausted and starving, but the clan head is waiting. A disciple delivers the summons, looking quite serious. They're dragged into a meeting before they can even grab a snack. The report on the valley is grim, even if the warning chimes are fixed. Talk turns to the upcoming Hessian conference and its representatives. One of the elders suggests Shixing should go. Jai Tiansai feels a sudden chill down his spine. He starts crying for help, looking totally wronged. The elders debate the fairness of sending certain disciples. They ask where the other top disciple is hiding. Everyone remembers how much those two used to fight. Our girl is suspicious, wondering why this bastard is being so nice. Night falls over the quiet mountain. Finally, it's bath time and the water feels like heaven. Jai Tiansai decides to give the little snake a good scrubbing. Back in the room, everything seems normal for a second. But then Jai Tiansai pulls out a bunny outfit for punishment. The snake is absolutely horrified by this turn of events. He hisses in fury, but Jai Tiansai just laughs it off. Even as the snake tries to bite, our guy thinks he looks adorable in ruffles. Jai Tiansai isn't taking no for an answer as he faces down the guards at the entrance to the restricted area. With a flick of his wrist, he reveals a voice command from the clan head himself that grants him total access. The surrounding disciples are absolutely fuming that our boy is getting the VIP treatment. They decide to let him pass for now, but they're already plotting to blame him if anything goes wrong. As he steps into the Heaven Seeker clan's high-level grounds, the scenery is breathtaking. The spiritual energy here is so thick you can practically taste it. Our girl at heart Jai Tiansai is practically drooling over the rare celestial grass everywhere. He gently places down his little white snake, Shijiu, so they can both soak up the vibes. But this snake isn't just a pet. It's a king planning to turn this sacred garden into an all-you-can-eat buffet. While Jai Tiansai enters a deep meditative state, he looks like a literal god in the sunlight. Suddenly, his consciousness is pulled into a chaotic dreamscape. He finds himself being swarmed by two insanely handsome, white-haired spirits who seem way too comfortable with him. A massive snake tail coils around him, making the situation even more scandalous. Our poor hero is panicking in Chibai mode while these two start fighting over who gets to keep his energy. One of them demands total compensation for his presence. The argument gets savage as they bicker over Jai Tiansai like he's a prize. Back in the real world, the snake has finished its pixelated feast and reached its goal. It slithers back to find Jai Tiansai sweating bullets and looking flushed. This isn't just a normal meditation session, he's being consumed by a dark miasma. Red energy begins to erupt around him. His face turns ghostly white before his hair suddenly bleeds into a deep, menacing red. the snake realizes our boy is about to go full-on insane again. Inside his mind, Jai Tiansai is being mocked by his own inner demon. He's trapped in a web of red energy, unable to move a single muscle. It feels like his very soul is being ripped from his body. He needs a physical shock to wake up or he's toast. Seeing the danger, the snake decides to deliver a savage wake-up call with an immediate slap. Jai Tiansai snaps back to reality, gasping for air and thanking his baby for the save. He's so relieved he starts showering the snake with kisses, even though the sky is beginning to turn a terrifying shade of purple. Lightning rumbles through the clouds as the world realizes our boy is about to have a massive breakthrough. High above, an elder senses the barrier has been breached and wonders how Jai Tiansai pulled it off. After the storm clears, Jai Tiansai is left looking like a charred mess on the deck. In a hilarious flashback, we see that the snake was the one screaming in terror as the lightning approached. The snake actually took the hit for him, getting absolutely fried in the process. Thanks to that sacrifice, Jai Tiansai leveled up 2 whole ranks without a single scratch. The other disciples are shook to their core by his sudden power jump. The snake is incredibly salty about the whole situation, but the rewards are worth it. Steward Wang comes running up, suddenly acting like Jai Tiansai's biggest fan now that he's a saint candidate. He's moved from the trashy lower-level yards to a literal palace. Jai Tiansai is living the dream, even finding a perfect climbing spot for his grumpy snake. He looks absolutely radiant the next morning, soaking in his new status. A rival flies by on a crane to drop off a token for higher-level classes. Jai Tiansai is suspicious, but he's hyped for the animal taming class. He thinks this is his chance to finally understand what his snake is saying. The class is led by a master who has spent so much time with beasts that he can't even speak human anymore. Jai Tiansai tells his baby to behave, but the snake is offended to be treated like a common animal. The instructions are to rub blood on the spirit animal's head to form a master-slave contract. Jai Tiansai tries his best, but the snake refuses to cooperate, making the ritual a total fail. As the other students mock him for his trashy pet, Jai Tiansai accidentally insults the Snake King by calling it a common hognose snake. The snake is absolutely fuming at the disrespect. Determined to prove them wrong, Jai Tiansai grabs the snake for one more chaotic attempt. A blinding light erupts, he actually succeeded. But the celebration is short-lived because everyone starts laughing their heads off. It turns out our boy signed the contract backwards. Instead of taming the snake, Jai Tiansai just made himself the snake's servant. He leans in close, asking the snake to say something now that they're bonded. The snake just stares him down with pure judgment and hisses a sarcastic holiday greeting. Our poor snake friend is currently being held hostage by a total weirdo who insists on being called mommy. Hulai is clearly losing his mind, demanding the little guy call him daddy, while our hero just wants to vanish into thin air. But the second the little snake bites back, Hulai enters full delusional mode, swooning because his baby finally spoke to him. While everyone else looks on in pure disgust, Hulai is busy bombarding his new pet with a million questions about his birthday and favorite books. He's so obsessed he's practically slurping the poor thing up, crying tears of joy and promising to cook up some top-tier cultivation pills just for him. Cut to the dead of night and someone is pulling a sneaky mission. Despite the very clear no snakes allowed sign, they've managed to break into the restricted pill cultivation room. Hulai is feeling confident, certain he can use the Elder's legendary cauldron to strike it rich. He tells the snake to sit tight and be a good boy, while he inspects the goods. The shelves are packed with high-quality samples, and Hulai wastes zero time setting up his chaotic laboratory. He starts mixing some questionable green sludge, convinced that this time there won't be any issues. But instead of a miracle pill, he gets a face full of kaboom. The explosion is absolutely massive, sending our poor snake friend flying into a wall. He's getting pelted by debris like he's in a dodgeball tournament from hell. The cauldron is totally trashed, and Hulai is left trying to sweep up the evidence of his failure. Suddenly, they hear a noise and realize they need to bail immediately. They make a frantic jump for freedom, only to spot someone else creeping around in the shadows. A mysterious shadow approaches the baby cauldron. It turns out this fox spirit has a side hustle making high-end rouge for the wealthy wives of the capital. He's weighing out ingredients with a devious smirk, unaware that he's being watched from the shadows. The rouge he makes is legendary for its vibrant color. But tonight he's aiming for a grand finale. He gears up with a protective mask and gloves, mixing in a secret recipe that definitely isn't FDA approved. As he does his little happy dance, the observers realize he's actually brewing a massive batch of aphrodisiacs. He's barely finished celebrating his beautiful work when the cauldron decides it's had enough and detonates. A thick pink mist starts blanketing the entire area. Even the local wildlife can't escape the effects. The disciples are losing their minds as the hot energy spreads through the clan, turning everyone into a chaotic, thirsty mess. Hulai realizes he is beyond screwed because the elder's relic is now in pieces. He's left trembling on the floor as the pink smoke drifts over the rooftops. The mist reaches a mysterious buff guy who was just trying to meditate in peace. He takes one sniff of the air and immediately knows that bastard Hulai has caused another disaster. Our hero is sprinting through the pink fog, desperate to find a way to stop the spread. He remembers the last time this happened, and the monkeys basically bankrupted the clan buying bananas to fuel their breeding frenzy. But the drug is moving too fast. The Snake King decides it's time for a power-up and orders his servant to change. With a surge of demonic energy, our hero transforms into a massive, terrifying beast. He's confused as hell about his new form, looking like a legendary creature straight out of a nightmare. The king is bursting with pride, explaining that this is a high-level energy skill. Now that they have the speed, they can outrun the chaos. Meanwhile, back at the pill room, Hulai is having a total meltdown over his broken relic. He's facing a death sentence from the clan master. He frantically packs up his remaining stock, even trying to scrape the bottom of the cauldron for any leftover product. He's crying buckets, blaming the Snake King for rushing him into this mess. We flash back to a few days ago, when a terrifying energy invaded Hulai's room while he was napping. It was the Snake King himself, and he was in a foul mood after being struck by lightning. He suspected Hulai was lying to him, and Hulai was sweating bullets. Knowing the king isn't the brightest bulb, Hulai tried to trick him into leaving so he could keep making money. He fed the king a lie about the clan leader handing off the moon devourer. The king took the bait and ordered Hulai to poison the target and steal a secret pouch. Hulai was left paralyzed with fear as the king slammed the door. Back in the present, Hulai is making his move to escape. He lights the fireworks signal, lighting up the sky in a brilliant display. The king sees it and is actually impressed for once, calling out to an elder about the exploding aphrodisiac. But the king quickly realizes he's lost control of his transformation. As they scramble toward the exit, things go from bad to worse for Hulai. He finds a cold blade pressed against his throat. It's the eldest Shikshung and he looks absolutely lethal. Hulai tries to play it cool, claiming he's just out for a midnight stroll to admire the moonlight. Our poor heroine, wait no, it's our precious pink-haired fox demon who's currently trembling before this masked man. He's absolutely terrified, and honestly, can you blame him with those cold eyes staring him down? One look from this guy and you just know he's not here to make friends. Flashback to the capital, where life for a small fox demon was nothing but a nightmare. These human bullies have some nerve, ganging up on him just because he's different. They even try to snatch his hard-earned coin pouch while he begs them to stop. Our boy worked himself to the bone just to buy medicine for his grandpa, but these thugs couldn't care less. They laugh in his face, claiming the law only exists for humans, not monsters like him. Meanwhile, inside a nearby carriage, a mysterious and gorgeous man watches the chaos unfold with a neutral expression. His servant asks if he wants to visit the princess, but the vibe is strictly get me out of here. As the carriage rolls away, our fox demon screams that he'll get his revenge and become the richest official in the land. The bullies just keep laughing, thinking his dreams are nothing but a joke. But the mood shifts instantly as we see the grand palace bathed in the light of a setting sun. Suddenly, the carriage arrives to find the entire residence engulfed in a massive, roaring fight. Panic erupts as the guards realize the crown prince has just returned to a literal inferno. The flames are savage, consuming everything in their path with a terrifying rumble. Everyone is screaming to put out the fire, but it's looking like a lost cause. The servants are losing their minds because the highness and the prince are still trapped inside. They eventually manage to pull the crown prince out, but the damage is already done. In the aftermath, the atmosphere is heavy with secrets and whispered conversations behind closed doors. We see the prince lying in bed, his back covered in horrific burns and blood-soaked bandages. And of course, there's always a snake in the grass. A corrupt servant is already forcing the unconscious prince's fingerprint onto a document. This absolute bastard tells the others to stop using expensive medicine on him. He's basically counting down the days until the prince dies so he can raid the treasury. He even mocks the prince for being deaf now, thinking he can't hear a single word of their betrayal. But wait, a wild, chibified fox demon appears, slamming through the window with chaotic energy. It's Hulai, and he's here to claim the prince as his eldest Shikshung from the Heaven Seeker clan. He's determined to bring the prince back to his master to be healed, even if he has to kidnap him. The prince looks completely done with this situation, probably wondering if death would be quieter. Hulai remembers a time he tried to help with an antidote for an aphrodisiac, looking like a total dork. He fumbles around and produces what he thinks is a rare treasure. But instead of medicine, he pulls out a scroll of, well, exquisite fox erotica. The poor guy is absolutely mortified when he realizes it's just a bunch of spicy scenes. He starts crying and begging for mercy, terrified his master will stab him 10,000 times for this blunder. He clings to the prince, sobbing his heart out in the most dramatic way possible. The prince just sits there, blushing and deeply annoyed by this pint-sized chaos magnet. Cut to the present where a massive red-maned beast is soaring through the sky. A tiny white snake is hitching a ride, asking where they're even going. The beast lands in a dark forest with a heavy rustle of leaves. The little snake peeks out, wondering why Hulai hasn't shown up yet. The beast tells the snake to stay put while he goes to investigate. He's sniffing the air, sensing something strange in the mist. The white snake watches as the beast stalks through the woods, looking like a total menace. Suddenly, the beast's eyes glow with a dangerous, predatory light. A trail of red energy swirls around, and things are about to get very weird. The beast starts acting all lovey-dovey, clearly affected by some kind of aphrodisiac. Our white-haired hero falls back in shock, telling the beast to stay the hell away. He tries to defend himself with a whip, shouting for the creature to stop. The beast is relentless, lunging forward with a savage jump. The hero dodges, but the tension is through the roof. Next thing you know, the beast is right on top of him, licking him like a giant puppy. He looks down and realizes the beast is actually touching his foot. The beast is getting way too comfortable, and the touching is getting very suggestive. Our hero is fuming, his face turning a bright shade of "I'm going to kill you." He delivers a massive kick that sends the beast flying with a loud crack. The beast rolls away, and our hero actually admits the fur felt kind of nice. He sits there for a moment, looking like a total boss. He decides he'll let his clan raise this furry thing and come back for it later. He turns to leave, still wondering where that idiot Hulai went. But the beast isn't done yet, it's lying there looking totally defeated. It starts to wake up, grumbling about having to deal with its useless underlings. Suddenly, it vomits out a fountain of glowing red energy. The energy explodes outward in a terrifying display of power. The beast stands up, wondering if that human's kick was really that strong. Our hero looks back, sensing the massive shift in power. Red strings of energy start snapping through the air like deadly whips. He realizes this isn't blood, it's pure demonic energy. He recognizes these red strings from before and knows he's in deep trouble. His eyes widen as the trap is set. He tries to run, knowing his own energy won't work against this. But the strings are faster, wrapping around his waist and pulling him back. He's swept off his feet, completely caught in the web. A voice whispers, "Baby." We meet again as a dark figure emerges from the red glow. Our hero calls his entrance disgusting, but the demon just chuckles. The strings tighten and begin to caress him, making him gasp in frustration. The demon tells him he doesn't care about being disgusting as long as he has him. He grabs our hero's chin, promising to get back everything he's owed. He leans in close, asking who else our hero thinks he's going to sleep with. Our guy is pinned down, shivering as the demon fondles him through the strings. The demon tells him he's the only one who truly suits him and there's no escape. He reminds our hero that he still owes him many times over. The energy peaks as the red strings pull tighter and tighter. The woods are alive with some seriously questionable sounds as things get heated between our leads. His partner tells him to just relax and take it all in. But honestly, how is he supposed to chill when there's still so much more to endure? Their hands are locked in a desperate grip as the tension reaches a breaking point. The look in his partner's eyes says it all. This isn't just a casual encounter. Meanwhile, back at the Heaven Seeker clan, the disciples are losing their minds looking for their master. They're literally shouting from the rooftops because they just want to pinch his cheeks. Up on the roof, the master is chilling, hoping his sleeping spell keeps everyone quiet for the night. His companion is impressed by his skills, but wonders why a powerful cultivator is hiding on a roof. The vibe is immediately ruined when someone accidentally steps on a precious horsetail whisk. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts as the warning bells start to crack and shatter. Panic sets in instantly because this is definitely not part of the plan. The 8-pointed suppressing bells are gone, and the sky is literally exploding with demonic energy. The seal on the demon-oppressing valley has been obliterated, and the consequences are unthinkable. They can't leave to investigate, or the disciples will be sitting ducks for the vengeful demons. While the clan sleeps peacefully, a storm of revenge is brewing from the depths. Defending the mountain's barrier is now the only priority. Back in the forest, Azin finally blinks his eyes open, feeling like he's been run over by a carriage. He curses the bastard who left him in the state, clutching his aching body. Looking at his partner still passed out next to him, the memories of the night come flooding back. Our guy is absolutely fuming because he's physically wrecked and his pride is in shambles. He's so thirsty for revenge that he tries to take out the sleeping beauty right then and there. But he quickly remembers this guy is basically unkillable, so murder is off the table for now. His only option is to bolt, dragging his sore self away as fast as possible. But the sky is still glowing purple, and he realizes the demonic seal is officially toast. This means every demon in that valley is now running wild. Just then, a mysterious woman with a paper umbrella floats down from the sky. Her entrance is elegant, but her vibe is straight-up lethal. Azin recognizes her immediately, and his heart drops. He demands to know why she's showing her face now after escaping the valley. She doesn't answer with words, instead launching a glowing orb right at him. She demands to know if he's the one who killed her father. She's convinced he's been a mole in the snake clan for years and wants his head on a platter. Azin tries to fight back, but his demonic energy suddenly vanishes into thin air. To make matters worse, she calls him son and casts a spell that locks him in his human form. She's literally siphoning his power away, leaving him defenseless. She tells him the whole world thinks he's the one who broke the bells, making him the most wanted demon alive. She wishes him luck with his new reputation and flies off into the night. Azin is left screaming into the void because he's been played like a fiddle. His energy channels are blocked, and he's basically just a regular mortal now. He can't go back to the demon clan because the bigger demons will eat him alive without his powers. He's stuck in human form, his reputation is trashed, and he's having a total meltdown. The sun rises over the temple the next morning. Jai Tiansai wakes up feeling like he's been through a war zone. He thinks it's just time for morning practice. He panics, realizing he's completely naked and covered in marks. He remembers the aphrodisiac from last night caused him to lose his absolute mind. He's terrified of how he's going to explain this beastly behavior to his shifu. He looks over to see Azin sitting up, and the sight of those bite marks on his back makes him want to crawl into a hole. Azin calls him a debauched fake priest, and honestly, he's not wrong. He asks if Jai Tiansai even remembers the chaos he caused. Jai Tiansai tries to blame the drugs, but he's stuttering like a mess. He's a blushing disaster as he realizes it's broad daylight and they're both still in the buff. He begs Azin to turn around so he can at least find some pants. Azin just gives him a look that could melt stone. Azin reminds him that he wasn't exactly reserved last night while he was tossing him around. He's literally covered in evidence of their spicy encounter. He asks how Jai Tiansai plans to make it up to him, or if he's just going to apologize and pretend it never happened. Jai Tiansai is spiraling, thinking he's committed a mortal sin. The drama is interrupted by a loud knocking at the door. Jai Tiansai scrambles to get dressed, his heart nearly beating out of his chest. It's Mr. A. Cheng calling for him to open up. Jai Tiansai opens the door trying to look normal, but he's sweating bullets. A. Cheng starts reporting on the chaos from last night, explaining how the aphrodisiac leaked and the valley seal broke. Azin is eavesdropping from the bed, looking like a total cinnamon roll. Jai Tiansai acts shocked about the bells being broken and asks if there's anything he can do to help. H. Sheng mentions that he heard Jai Tiansai knows the demon Azin. He explains that the headmaster is worried Azin might be the next demon king. Or even worse, that Azin is actually the legendary Liu Wuxin himself. Jai Tiansai's face goes totally pale as the gravity of the situation hits him. H. Sheng leaves him with a warning to wash up and report to Shizun. Jai Tiansai stares at the door, wondering how Azin could possibly be a terrifying demon lord. He looks back at the guy in his bed and just sees a simple beauty. Azin catches him staring and asks what his problem is. He admits he is indeed Azin, but Jai Tiansai can't wrap his head around it. Azin mocks him, saying if he were really that strong, he wouldn't have been trapped by Jai Tiansai's lust. Jai Tiansai starts thinking that since Azin has no demonic energy, the rumors must be fake. He decides the only way to make it up to him is to take responsibility. Azin is confused by the sudden change in vibe. Jai Tiansai announces that they need to go tell Shizun everything. He's determined to form a relationship and get the marriage approved. Azin is horrified because Shizun will literally kill him on sight. He's screaming at him to let go, but Jai Tiansai is on a mission of love. He decides that since Azin is a male demon, he'll just tell everyone he's a female demon to make it okay. Azin's rage reaches a boiling point. He never agreed to a name change or a relationship. Shiji is finally introduced to Azin, the mysterious guy who supposedly saw through the demon's plan and saved her life. She bows in deep gratitude, thanking the young man for his timely help. However, she's still a cautious one and insists on checking him for demonic energy just to be safe. Azin plays it cool and lets her do her thing without breaking a sweat. After a quick check, she confirms there's absolutely no demonic energy coming from him. With that out of the way, our girl decides it's time for a little makeover. She breaks out the heavy-duty cosmetics, and Jai Tiansai is tasked with holding Azin down. Azin immediately starts panicking, wondering what on earth these two are planning to do to him. He thrashes around so much that they consider just knocking him out to finish the job. When he finally comes to, he's in for a rude awakening. Shiji is busy adding the finishing touches of blush to his face. She steps back and admires her handiwork, calling the result absolutely perfect. Azin looks in the mirror, and his soul practically leaves his body as he realizes he's been turned into a she. He desperately tries to wipe the makeup off, but it won't budge. Shiji explains that this is enchanted makeup from research cultivators. It's designed to stay on no matter what. She tells him he needs this disguise to avoid suspicion during the curfew. To make matters worse, she tops it off with bunny ears, and our boy is absolutely fuming. Shiji thanks Jai Tiansai for his quick wit in bringing Azin back safely. She instructs them to get some new clothes and head to the headmaster immediately. As they walk through the sect, the tension is thick. They arrive just in time to witness the master delivering a legendary scolding. He's furious that someone dared to make another aphrodisiac after the last disaster. Not only that, but the Shizun's precious cauldron was ruined in the process. Poor Hulai is on the floor, sobbing and begging for mercy. But the master realizes something is off about the explosion. He examines the shards of the cauldron and finds something suspicious. There are traces of pills that definitely shouldn't be there. He realizes that powder and cream wouldn't have left these specific marks. He finds a pill that's as hard as iron among the debris. It turns out the cauldron was likely cracked before Hulai even touched it, making Jai Tiansai the real secret culprit. Master demands to know how they'll explain the mess in the valley. He stares them down, refusing to believe this was all just a coincidence. Hulai is trembling, knowing that according to the rules, he's facing a death sentence. But Jai Tiansai steps in with a savage bribes 3 shops in the capital. He offers to cover all the clan's expenses for 2 years just to save his hide. Suddenly, the master is feeling much more merciful. He decides to lighten the punishment since his disciple is being so thoughtful. Azin watches the whole bribery session from behind a wall, completely baffled. He decides to make his grand entrance, acting like a graceful, merciful beauty. Jai Tiansai is internally screaming, knowing how easy it is to recognize him. Master is momentarily stunned by the gorgeous lady, but his eyes narrow as he realizes she is actually a demon. Azin locks eyes with him, ready to start the performance of a lifetime. Within minutes, gossip spreads like wildfire that Jai Tiansai brought home a stunning lady demon. Every disciple in the sect drops what they are doing to go and get a look at the succubus. The crowd peeks through the doors, swooning over how gorgeous she looks from behind. Azin leans into the role, claiming to be a humble snake demon from the foot of the mountain. He bats his eyelashes and claims he only transformed because he admired the Daoists. Then he drops the ultimate drama bomb. He accuses Jai Tiansai of ruining his purity. The Chibai chaos is real as Azin plays the victim perfectly. Hulai sniffles, suddenly realizing that this female demon smells suspiciously like his majesty. Azin continues his act, weeping and wailing for the headmaster to take pity on him. He begs for Jai Tiansai to be punished for his atrocious acts. The eavesdropping disciples are totally bought in, calling the situation outrageous. Master gives a terrifying glare, sensing the massive headache this is causing. Hulai is sweating bullets, wondering why the king would go as far as dressing in drag. Master is just done, wondering why everyone keeps bringing him trouble. Azin peeks through his veil, finally getting a look at the child headmaster. He can't believe the leader of the Heaven Seeker clan is a little kid. He wonders if this is the price for going against natural aging. Or maybe becoming a child was a specific punishment for some ancient sin. Master is about to pass judgment when Jai Tiansai suddenly shouts that he's willing to marry the lady. Master literally spits out blood in shock. He's not about to let his disciple marry a demon who appeared out of nowhere. Suddenly, a giant bird appears in the sky, signaling a new arrival. Jiangsu returns in the most chaotic way possible, riding the massive ostrich. Everyone is staring at the bird, wondering what kind of spirit animal it even is. The bird skids to a halt right in front of the master. Jiangsu starts speaking in a language that sounds like total gibberish to the others. The translation reveals that the demons from the valley are all heading toward Haunted Waters town. This news actually makes the master look worried. Jiangsu quickly takes off again, wanting to check if her other animals were affected by the aphrodisiac. Master finally loses his cool and whacks her for mentioning monkeys again. Jai Tiansai is left in shock as the chaos continues. Master orders his disciples to drag the troublemaker away. He's drowning in stress from both his older and younger disciples. He tells the gossipers to clear out so they can solve one thing at a time. Using eye communication, he lets Azin know that he knows he's the real culprit behind the seal breaking. He orders Hulai to head to Haunted Waters town to find out what the demons are up to. He tells Jai Tiansai to go along with him. He then tells the eavesdroppers to properly take care of the lady while they're gone. The disciples are more than happy to host the beautiful succubus. Jai Tiansai tries to play the hero, insisting that the marriage was his idea to protect Azin's honor. He pouts, worried that the master suspects the lady has other plans. As they walk through the gardens, they discuss the suspicious movements of the demon clan. Hulai begs to go with them to investigate the situation. Master scolds him, reminding him that Haunted Waters town is incredibly dangerous. Hulai insists he's been training painstakingly just for this. We see a flashback of a tiny Jai Tiansai training while the master relaxed. He explains that he can't live under protection forever and wants to do his part for the clan. He begs for trust, promising not to put his life at stake. Master finally sighs, realizing that this might just be fate taking its course. The Shifu ponders if it's heaven's will that he finally broke through. He decides it's time to let go and agrees to let our girl and Jiyun travel together. But there's a catch. He demands a drop of her heart's blood to create a longevity lantern for her protection. Our girl doesn't hesitate for a second, looking a bit nervous but determined. She goes full savage and draws way too much blood, sending the Shifu into an absolute panic as he screams for a magical item to stop the bleeding. While he's busy having a heart attack, she's just happy she can finally leave on her mission. The Shifu scolds her for being impulsive, looking completely exhausted by her chaos. He reminds her that the female demon can't stay at the clan grounds for long. He plans to check her demonic energy one last time before making a final decision. Our girl tries to play the one more night card, but the Shifu is not having it. Meanwhile, the other disciples have been absolutely wrecked by the succubus in the hall. Only one guy is left standing, refusing to believe she can't be controlled. He launches a desperate attack, but the king delivers a savage kick that sends him flying. He stares down at the worthless bunch, completely unimpressed. Suddenly, he realizes the masters are back and breaks into a cold sweat. The defeated disciple feels humiliated and pulls out an expensive talisman for a sneak attack. He throws it with a cry of die, and the king realizes he has no demonic energy left to dodge. He braces for the hit, but the Shifu steps in and freezes the talisman midair with a cold command. He's had enough of the nonsense, noting that the girl didn't use any demonic energy to defend herself. Even though she smells clean, the Shifu remains suspicious that she's just a top-tier hider. He scolds the disciples for attacking her while she hides behind our girl, acting like a poor, mistreated lamb. Despite the act, the Shifu still refuses to let her stay the night. He tells her to pack her bags and settle her business elsewhere. The king is fuming inside. He didn't cross-dress for nothing. He's determined to stay in this clan tonight no matter what. So he does the unthinkable and snaps his own arm to fake a serious injury. He starts sobbing to his husband about how the mean disciples dislocated his arm. The Shifu takes a closer look, suspicious as ever. He grabs the arm to inspect the damage, noticing that her circulation channels haven't even been opened yet. He decides to set the arm back and thinks she might actually be a useful pawn to send back misleading info to the demons. As an apology for his disciples' failure, he finally grants her permission to stay. Our girl is overjoyed while the king is secretly smirking at his victory. He wonders why the Shifu suddenly yielded, but hey, a win is a win. The king relaxes in a steaming hot bath, looking like a total snack. He calls out for some more hot water, lounging while the steam rises around him. Our girl is busy boiling water, warning him not to rush. She runs in with the kettles, tending to a white snake she thinks is his pet. The water pours into the tub as the king notices the snake isn't talking back to him. That's because it's a fake replacement he spent a long time finding. He strokes the scared little decoy, annoyed that our girl doesn't even notice the difference. She asks if the snake is sick since it's being so gentle. Then she drops the bombshell. They're leaving for Haunted Waters town tomorrow. The king is stunned. He jumps out of the tub in a rage, splashing water everywhere. He screams into the night, wondering what the point of all that cross-dressing was if they're leaving already. Back in bed, he's absolutely furious while our girl packs their things. She tries to comfort him, saying the clan is safer for a weak girl like him. He argues that the disciples would just come after him again. Our girl shares some of the Shifu's wisdom about having a good heart to turn enemies into friends. The king just stares at her, completely unconvinced. She dreams of a world where humans and demons get along, while he thinks that'll only happen when all the humans are dead. They settle in for the night with the king still pouting. Morning arrives with the rustle of bamboo. The sun hits the quiet house. The king wakes up feeling a heavy weight on his chest. Our girl coos over the two cute babies she found in bed. He realizes he's been sleeping with the fake snake and snaps. He goes into a red-hot rage, demanding to know who dared to sleep in his bed. Chaos erupts with a loud slap as he attacks the decoy. Outside, the birds scatter from the noise as our girl tries to calm him down. He's crying from anger while she worries about the baby getting hurt. Finally, they get ready at the main entrance. The king is still complaining about having to wear women's clothes for the journey. Our girl tells him to stay put and be a good girl while she checks things. She warns him to stay away from the other disciples and not hit anyone. They ask where the Shizen is, only to find out he's gone into closed cultivation. Apparently, he said everything he needed to say the night before. The king peeks out only to find the fox girl spying on them. She offers him rouge and even a secret weapon to give his chest a better shape. It's a pair of scented pads that guarantee a nice silhouette. The king is so offended he kicks her into orbit. The fox girl is down for the count, impressed by his strength. The group gathers one last time before the trip. The Shishu tells them to help each other and avoid bickering. Our girl promises to catch the escaped demons and watch over everyone. The two rivals share one last intense glare. Then it's time to head out. The fox girl gets dragged along for the ride. The elders sigh, watching them leave like a bunch of kids who refuse to grow up. They all take separate paths, but the map shows there's only one way out of the mountains. Sure enough, they run into each other immediately and start the chaotic bickering all over again.